This is Sippin' with Sammy. I am Mr. Flash and only the one and only Sippin' with Sammy. Sam Malone, Barstool Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammy, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together. Get down. Yup. What's up with y'all? Happy Monday, happy hour, all that flyness. Hopefully you had a great day and a great weekend. Like, comment, subscribe, share. If you are watching live, please feel free to hop in the chat. If not, leave a comment. We might get to it. I think we're going to start doing that as the comments pile up, the ones that are interesting. On live nights, we're going to start pulling them and responding to them and maybe answering some questions or whatever have you that y'all might have. So, make it interesting. We got some fun with it. But first, a word from my sponsor. This is Sippin' with Sammy, Sam Malone, Barstool Rug here with Rich Jewels, the official sponsor of the Sippin' with Sammy podcast. Tap in with Rich Jewels, male or female jewelry, black owned, small business. Tap in with Rich Jewels, Sippin' with Sammy approves. I should be linking with Rich soon. Tried to figure something out last week and it got crazy, but we're gonna figure it out soon. We got some new things we excited to share with you guys. Let you guys get hip to. She's been building. She's been building. So salute to her. Let's do this real quick. But you see, I don't have a co-host today as of yet. I don't know. He might pull up. So y'all know who I got. Kay is in a situation with us. What's up with you, Kay?
Oh, I'm chilling. Living the dream.
Oh, do I know that you're chilling?
Yeah,
How would I know that you're chilling?
You see me. I'm chilling.
Oh, talk heavy.
Come on now.
You like Treasure Jr. Anyway, I guess that would make you senior.
Right. I think I'm older than her.
All right. But she went to school. Never mind. But yeah, so you all right today? Everything was good? Your day was cool? Work treated you good? The world treated you nice?
The world actually did treat me nice today.
Okay, all right.
It was a decent day. The weather was nice. I spent most of the day outside, so it was a good day for me.
Shout out to the world for that, for the K Day and the K Cam. Shout out to Boogie Mandela. He said he see what you doing, he picking up what you putting down, and he's excited about seeing you more on the camera and giving you input and such. So shout out to him, and I just wanted to tell you that because I don't know, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but the people need to know.
I hear you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Boogie.
Yeah, so we got quite a few topics this evening.
We have a lot of topics. We have stuff that we didn't get to last week, and then all of the stuff that happened in the past week.
Half the week. I don't never go back through the whole week. It's too much stuff. Damn. But yeah, where we starting? Weekend recaps?
Yeah, we might as well start with the weekend.
You gotta go first then.
All right, so weekend recap. Let me see. What did I do this weekend?
You was working on Friday night.
Was I?
Velcro.
Oh, right. Yes. Shout out to Velcro. We ended up doing some media out at his artist showcase, his rap rockstar artist showcase. He was giving away awards to some talented musicians in the area. He had Molly and DJ Crazy both judging the performances.
Molly Cobain, because it sounded like you said Molly. Molly Cobain and DJ Crazy. Yeah, you got. It sounded like Molly, and just in case they not from Philly, Molly Cobain.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
Molly Cobain and DJ Crazy were judging.
Shout out to both of them gentlemen, man.
We saw some performers who we haven't seen in a while. Shout out to High Class, their whole group.
FF Jizz and them.
Yep. So that was dope.
Tsunami 9.
Yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night. Everybody, there was only like, no, I won't even say that. There weren't really that many bad performances.
I can remember one.
Yeah, there was one.
And it was really bad, but it was okay. He got it out the way. It was over early.
He got it out the way, and even with it, the crowd was like rocking to it. If it might have been low-key humorous, but
no, like it's something there. I was telling people like he gonna be rich and motherfuckers gonna look up like that's the boy. Like something about it when he figures it out is gonna work. it's just really awkward right now. And I don't know if it's an understanding or an ownership thing or both. You know what I mean? It take a lot to
I feel like he's recording himself,
I feel that's the thing too. I feel like that's probably
and
like
that's like the majority of the issue.
that's what Marley said. It's a rumble me dickhead. That's a rumble me dickhead. Seriously. But no, we definitely went through that event. Shout out to Velcro for inviting me and us and always making sure that we situated. I wanted Velcro to say a couple words to the camera. He wound up giving me the microphone. Um which I never really have a problem with another microphone in my hand. I'm good, let's go. But shout out to Swaggiano because he's damn near snatched the mic from me to show some love and big
Absolutely.
me up to the audience, and I appreciated that.
Yep.
Shout out to all the artists and performers and entrepreneurs too, because once I say that entrepreneur word, half the room be like, oh, I could go through that. So shout out to everybody that made it a point to pull me to the side and holler at me and get my information. I see the people that follow me. I got text messages from folks that y'all will probably see on the platform very soon, or possibly be looking to do business through Font Productions because they need a little bit of help on getting to the next plateau. So either way, good luck to everybody and shout out to everybody. I had a great time, man. I had an awesome night. Which is big for a showcase.
Absolutely.
Not a Velcro showcase, but it's big for just showcases in general. Vel usually brings a pretty balanced talent lineup for the most part.
And speaking of, Velcro has another event back at Boyk's Lounge this coming weekend,
hmm
May 3rd,
hmm
his birthday bash.
Which is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's gonna be legendary. So, y'all should go.
There was a heart walking around the crowd last week and a skeleton. So I can't imagine what's going to be there for his birthday.
Yeah.
That's going to be ridiculous. So that was Friday night.
That was Friday.
And
That was Friday.
you Saturday, Sunday, anything?
My Saturday and Sunday, I was in the house, chilling, recuperating, running errands, doing what I had to do, that type of stuff. You know, life.
You watched the game, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
All right, cool. Well, for me,
Yeah, why don't you tell the people?
all right. So Morgan State had their first annual reunion cookout, right? The idea is that we shouldn't have to wait till homecoming to get together every year.
And so, was this like a school sponsored thing?
No, our school doesn't do anything besides homecoming. Everything else is promoter based. It's a lot of promoters that and DJs that went to Morgan State. Shout out to Dukes, Randy Dukes. He's one of them. He's one of the organizers. Tricks and Zeke also was organizers of this one. Shout out to Tricks. Bent Wine, one of our sponsors. Um, but it was outside. It was by the water. On one of the sides of the harbor type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, really nice setup, like situation, like the patch of grass. I don't want to call it patch because it was big as hell, but the space was really nice because like just visually, like people was just standing next to each other and taking pictures, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be hard. They right in front of the water. They don't even dig it. You know what I mean? Like it just make it look so much crazier visually, and it was all love. But I start the story from Friday, right?
Right.
I'm at work, and shout out to Ray Grinch, man, my guy. He hit me around 3:30. I know because I know what I was doing at work. And he like, yo, you going down? And I'm like, I don't know. I thought about it. What's up? He like, I'm thinking about going. You going to ride? I'm like, yeah, I'm riding. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. So my obligation was the next day to make it to his house and ride down with him. So we went down, and when I get to his crib, he informs me that due to the fact that it's already raining in Baltimore, the cookout has been postponed till the next day, more than likely. It was still like tentative at the time, right? So we like, well, we already planned on going down. Everybody else is ready to do something, so at least we're gonna watch some games, go to the bar, do something, right?
Right.
So we shot down. We found out that it was confirmed that it would be the next day. Cool. Then I think about the bright side. First day 60 degrees. Next day 85. Might be a blessing in disguise, right?
Right.
So we like, cool. So I shoots down. We get with squad. Shout out to Sauce, Bible, L Boogie, um, Weez, and uh I'm thinking of the first night. It was quite a few of us that was together. And we did a little bar hopping, got some grubs, watched the games and all of that. That was love. You know what I mean? Love. Shout out to T for use of the mansion. Appreciate that. And the next day it was all about getting situated and whether we was gonna go to a brunch in DC or not, and watching the Sixers game and going to the cookout. So I had a pretty full day, but back to the cookout. Great vibes, great energy, a lot of beautiful black folks out there enjoying themselves, carefree, no drama. I don't want to say zero drama, no fights. I saw a situation when I was a little towards the edge of where everything was at. That's kind of like out of bounds. It was like somebody that wasn't really, they was part of the thing, but they may have not bought a ticket type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? They was like right where you could be without them saying you needed a wristband. So they got an argument with somebody. And homie had all this jewelry on, and his other homie had a blue bandana hoodie on. So that was a little curious to me because I didn't know if that was like a fashion statement or a thing. But they arguing with somebody, and I'm like, this is getting stupid. Look at them. They about to fight. That's crazy. And next thing I know, they beefing with security, and I'm like, oh, this is about to get bad. So the boy with the chain and the watch and all that on, he all hype, and I'm like, ain't nothing about to happen. He ain't take his watch off yet. Like, so it wound up dying down, and it was cool. But what was dope was they had the food trucks out there. Shout out to Dukes and them again. They had tents up and all that, so we had shade. We had a couple chairs. The DJs was killing. It was multiple DJs. I can't even remember everybody that DJ yesterday. Dukes ain't even DJ yesterday. Ran into the Bowleys boys. For those that don't know them, my roommates from my townhouse when I was in college, my sophomore year. Had a great time talking to them. Happy birthday, Soze, my guy. Just a great time, and really like it felt like reunion, homecoming vibes without everybody being bundled up.
That's dope.
I had a hard time getting my bottle in there. So that's how I saw the altercation because I was on the outskirts drinking, for anybody that was curious. But yeah, it was a dope event. It was supposed to be over at 8. I went live a little after 8, so it's on the Sippin' with Sammy YouTube page. You can see I'm not going to be able to benefit nothing from it because the DJs was playing every popular song you know in the man, you know that. But I just wanted to show people the energy when the cookout was already over. Motherfuckers was supposed to be leaving and it was still like lit out there for a while. And it just reminds you of how it used to be when you was at college and you could party and stay all the way to the end of the party and not had to worry about no crazy shit trying to get home, you know?
Mhm.
So that felt good. And then the after party was free. So we slid through there for a little bit. And long story short, I got home about 4 this morning.
Yep.
So had a great weekend. Let's give it up for squad in Morgan State University. Security was on me like feds, boy. They knew I was trying to get the yaddles in there.
Well,
Like, what tip is you on? I'm like, yo. Then
they're
they tell
doing
me,
their job.
but it's funny because my homies threw the event and I'm sitting with them and they like, what is you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to get the bottles and they like, we told them to check all that shit. I'm like, well, tell them don't check mine. Like, then I'm like, yo, the boy tried to tell me I can't smoke. He said, yeah, you good though. We just told him it's cool. Like, it's funny because it's like I'm going through the regular patron shit and then I'm talking to the niggas in the director booth. And it's still not helping me. I just got more information than everybody else. It was weird as hell, yo. It was weird. But shout out to Ray for the trip. Congratulations on the new situation. I ain't gonna put you out there like that, but I always have a great time with my guy, man. We go with the flow mostly, you know. So it's not really difficult for us to link up and pull up and do some fly shit together. But definitely had a great time seeing my homies, man. I don't think I'm ever around a group of people that smile as much as when I'm with squad, yo. Everybody's laughing the entire time. So shout out to y'all, man. Love y'all to death. So that was my weekend. That was my weekend, man. Lakers won, Sixers lost. Watch both of those. But let's talk
Whoa,
about the
whoa,
Sixers.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Let's
whoa,
talk
whoa,
about the
whoa.
Sixers. Let's start with the Sixers. We're gonna start with the Sixers.
the playoffs.
Oh, we doing the whole thing. I see what you did there.
What did I do?
You put it all in one net.
Yeah.
It's probably 3 topics.
I mean,
Nah, you good. Come on, let's do it.
okay.
Set it off. Sixers fan.
All right.
And I didn't see the first half of the last game, so I was
Well,
we was trying to find parking.
unfortunately, I saw all of it. And to be honest, the first half started off okay. I mean, Jalen Brunson was just
Phenomenal.
dynamic
Right.
the entire game, to be honest. Like, he was unstoppable.
He broke a Knicks scoring record, yo.
He was unstoppable.
How many people played for the Knicks? That's crazy. Go ahead.
So shout out to him. He was phenomenal. And unfortunately, our team could not quite keep up. So first half we were actually doing pretty well. You know, how we usually do, like we're right around tied
It's right around tied.
for the first half, how we always are. And then, you know, the second half, at some point we had gotten ahead in the, I think it might have been still in the first half. We had gotten ahead by like 10, maybe 12. They came back in the third. And then the fourth just went downhill very quickly.
The last
very quickly.
7, maybe 5 minutes of the fourth quarter was so atrocious, yo. Like, it was disgusting. It felt like no plays was being called. Everybody was just taking turns throwing up shots and not really trying to get a rebound or hustle. It felt bad watching the last 5 minutes. It was like, yo, so did y'all just give up on it?
Yeah.
But I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't either.
I think it was very winnable. Yeah, mad opportunities to win that game.
Absolutely.
And motherfuckers, instead of getting a layup, motherfucker get right to the rim and throw it all the way out to the 3. When you down 3, get 2 points.
And there was just a total lapse in communication between all of the players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it wasn't just the fourth quarter. Like, throughout the entire game, every time that Embiid would get the ball, everyone would just stop and stare.
He slows the game down a lot, and we say that a lot, but in certain situations, in certain teams, you can't do it. You just can't do it.
Yeah, but overall, it was not a great performance. Definitely was a winnable game. And what's even more disappointing, getting into our next topic,
No, because I got something to say about the Sixers topic too.
was the amount of fucking Knicks fans in the building.
All right, so before y'all get to that, let me tell you my experience, right?
Sure.
So I said I was looking for parking. So we down Fells Point in Baltimore, which is like, it's mad bars and little shops and all of that. So parking is hell. So we rode around for a while trying to just double park to eat our food that we had just picked up for brunch around that time, right? So we get it. We park in a lot. When we finally find a lot with space in it, we walk to this it's an indoor-outdoor like fish market joint. So they got a bar, but it's kind of like beach vibes, like not really, but the water's right there, so you get in the breeze, and it has the outdoor roof and shelter whatever over top of you, but the music is blasting and it's like beach vibes. It feel like you on vacation or some shit, and everybody food look real good, but we had just ate, so I'm like, I want to try the calamari because I know it's fresh as hell, but I just ate. So we watching the Sixers game, and what's weird is the only 2 seats at the bar is right in between the 2 TVs that's showing the Sixers game. So the TVs is facing away from us, like it's behind our heads. And the TVs that's in front of us are showing a baseball game. And both sets of TVs are on the same circuit, so they can't do 1 and 1. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
So we watched the whole game like this. Literally. With our heads all the way tilted, trying to be comfortable, and maybe you switch positions and go like this to the other TV. So late in the fourth quarter, when all the shenanigans was going on, we realized that this older white guy that was sitting across from us at the bar was a Knicks fan.
Oh.
And when he realized we were Sixers fans, he turned up every single time something happened for the last 5 minutes of that game, yo.
Oh, so that's just how they are.
But he was trying to taunt us type energy though. You know what I'm saying? It was like take that type shit. Like motherfucker. So as soon as the game was over, bro, and it's crazy because we had finished our drinks and our beer and all that. We had to go to the liquor store still, and Ray wanted a cigar. So we had a couple moves to make before we went to the cookout. So we ain't ordered nothing else. So as soon as the game was over, we looked dumb as shit just walking away from the bar salty, and he just sitting there smiling and shit. I just wanted to but that's how I watched the game. So I was with an annoying Knicks fan, but I didn't know that while I was out of town, y'all allowed New York to come take over Philadelphia.
Yo, it was
I
bad.
blame y'all. Who was here when I wasn't? Cause I wasn't here.
I was
You
on the
was here.
couch.
You was here. You let them do the shit.
Yeah, but I went
You
to
sat there and watched them do the shit.
I went to the playing game.
Did
Like,
you
I
even
couldn't
pluck
afford
a
more
motherfucker?
tickets.
Damn, you ain't help. I'm just talking about helping. All the New York people running wild and you was on the couch.
What'd you want me to do?
Jump in the fight.
What? Have you seen me?
The crazy thing is I didn't see no fights, but explain what happened with the Knicks fans. My bad. I just thought that was interesting that I leave town and y'all just let that happen on, you know what I mean? Y'all watch. But go ahead.
I mean, no, I'll tell you exactly what happened. So, New York is literally an hour and a half away. So some of their fans live
Y'all
as,
drive fast. It'd be 2 hours for me.
all right, 2 hours. Live as close as like, New Jersey.
I'm about to say a lot of them live in Jersey.
New Jersey.
A lot of them.
So it's just as easy for them to go to Madison Square Garden as it is for them to come to the Wells Fargo Center. And guess which one of the tickets are cheaper?
By like a third.
Right.
Like it's 1/3 of the price of the other.
Cost.
Mhm.
So even if you live in New York, with the traffic that it's going to take you to get to Madison Square Garden, unless you're,
Catching the train.
yeah, unless you're within public transit range, you might as well drive to Philly anyway.
Yeah, and if you're not, it's a good point, because if you're not in public transportation range, or even if you have outer, the outer line transportation, you gotta get to somewhere to get to the transportation to get to Madison. Yep, you're right. That's the thing. You're right.
So at that point,
Philly people go through that.
Or the Amtrak.
Not Philly people, suburban, the surrounding areas.
The Amtrak from New York down to Philly takes that's ridiculously fast. That
Yeah.
takes under an hour.
Yeah,
And
they somewhere around 50 minutes or 45 minutes.
the tickets are only $15.
I didn't know that.
It's maybe 15 to 25, somewhere in that range.
Just like the Chinese bus? That's crazy.
It's not bad. It's not expensive at all. You got to make sure you buy your ticket ahead of time. You can't buy your ticket on the train anymore. We've learned that before.
Mm-hmm.
But
Had a great story about that one. Shout out Lump.
yeah, but yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. I think it's so convenient for folks to get from Philly to New York and from New York to Philly, and New York just has so much more money that they took over and bought all of the tickets because Philly fans can't afford them.
Yeah, honestly, can we keep it real? There's an elephant in the room nobody's speaking of.
Which is?
Knicks fans is way more excited than Sixers fans right now. It's been a long fucking time, yo, that they've been waiting to go draw.
That's true.
It's been a long time.
And
I mean, not even talking about making playoffs and all of that. I'm talking about looking like you got potential to do something.
Right. Because I think, Sixers fans, as soon as Embiid got hurt, we really, we kind of knew that our chances at a championship were, diminished greatly. So I think that we had all kind of, somewhat prepared ourselves that, we'd make it to the first round of the playoffs and, probably lose. But no, Knicks fans definitely think that they might go all the way. That is clear.
And shout out to Jalen Brunson. He don't give them no reason not to feel that way, god damn it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Oops, I should have said that on here, but y'all know what I mean. That's crazy.
Yeah. So that was the Sixers game.
And the Knicks fans.
And the Knicks.
Shout out to the Knicks fans though, man. I ain't mad at y'all. Eagles fans go to Dallas and take over half the fucking stadium, which is crazy. Cause it ain't that goddamn many of us. And that stadium huge. But my homies be down there every year for that.
Let's talk Lakers.
Let's talk Lakers. No, the topic was Lakers are making history.
Hold on, I have that on the graphics. It doesn't fit on the headline.
All right, I'm about to say, don't do them like that. That ain't what we doing. That ain't how we doing them. We about to make history. Y'all living in the moment. See, I'll get to it.
So, the Lakers making history?
Question mark.
You see the
Mhm.
question mark there?
Did I have the question mark or did you add the question mark? Because sometimes you don't even put the question marks I be having.
No, you had the question mark.
All right.
You had the question mark.
All right.
So, talk to me. Tell me about the Lakers Nuggets game. Did you watch it?
Yes, I watched it. Great game.
And now, to be clear, you guys were down in the series.
3-0.
Okay.
So if in a game, it's funny because sometimes you'll listen to all the commentators and you'll have the bar and barbershop conversations, basketball court conversations, whatever, and everybody will be saying, yeah, like the same, basically the same stuff. Like when no production from D'Lo, and AD and LeBron been playing hard as they can. We need more production out of AR-15 and out of Rory. Like everybody's saying the same stuff. It look This is one of them games that I've been seeing this a lot this season where they did exactly what everybody said, but it felt like it took for them to hear everybody that say it.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like it ain't just the thing is not the plan. It's like, oh shit, we coaching them. But it really felt like that watching it. It's like the first half started off, you seen different energy and you seen people score that didn't score the last game, D-Lo.
Oh.
And then you saw a lot of hustle, a lot of work. And we pulled off the W. I'm not gonna talk long about it because we got a lot of topics. Because my main point of it, one, shout out to us for winning. But I was also watching the Mark Jackson show, and I forget what they call their nighttime show that they started doing the playoffs. But salute to Mark and Blue for what they do. They're very entertaining. Blue told him on there, man. He said, "You want to talk about what Anthony Edwards did last night? Like we ain't watching history right now." And that's how I feel. I feel like nobody's ever came back from down 3-0. And this would be another thing that LeBron was the first one to do. So I'm on it. We about to make history. If y'all don't realize that you're sitting in the middle of history, it's because most people don't. While it's going on, you realize it in hindsight.
Okay.
You wasn't in the motherfucking director's box. You don't have the information. It's okay.
Okay.
It's all right. But yeah, we watching history right now. That's all I wanted to say. We can keep it moving.
Got it.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to get that out there. Make sure the people knew where I stood. And y'all can comment how y'all feel about it. And if I'm wrong, comment then. Call in. I don't know. If you got my number. I ain't answering all calls. I try to ignore y'all. But if I know y'all gonna give it up, I'm gonna tap you in. Ain't no problem with me.
Anything else playoff related that you wanted to touch on?
Just that the playoffs have been exciting as hell.
Yes.
Halliburton has had streaks of being the Halliburton that, we like to see. Hero seems like he's made a comeback from the injury, but consistency is weird, but he's exciting as hell. Anthony Edwards is exciting as fuck. Like it's just like so many little storylines and bylines and reasons to just watch every game except Orlando and Cleveland. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is the only game that I have no interest in watching.
And half the time it don't be on. They come on so early. They be the first game.
Yeah.
They don't even be on. I be looking for games that don't be on. I be seeing the score during the pregame. I'm like, what channel is this game on?
That's funny.
And they balling, and Cleveland fuck around and do something.
Yeah.
I think and they series tied. They 2-2.
Yeah. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
So shout out to the NBA. Not as an organization. Shout out to the players because it's lit right now. Shea Gilchrist, Alexander. Yeah, it's been it's something to watch every night.
That's for sure.
I'm gonna be pissed about the next round when you gotta wait, but it's cool.
Let's talk about Stephen A.
Yo, man, it's another question mark, John, right? But this is an absolute question mark because on the heels of saying that black people relate to Trump and talking his way and articulating his way out of some of that speculation or, trying to at least settle the waters. Now he telling people he called the league office to see why Westbrook didn't get ejected or suspended. I mean, didn't get suspended. And then he defended it by saying, "Do you know about the situation?"
No, I think you should back up.
Okay. All right. So Westbrook did something during the game.
Okay.
He was ejected from the game.
Got it.
Stephen A went on one of his rants where he didn't feel as though Westbrook's penalty was severe enough because he felt like if other players had done what Westbrook did, they would have got harsher penalties.
Was this a playoff game? Like recently was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a fine take. Like we always say that. Like, you know, we see stuff happen with Draymond just because it's Draymond. And then we see him get away with stuff that only Draymond get away with. Like, we know that happens, right?
Yeah.
So that's a fair take. Like,
That's a
all right,
fair
cool.
take.
His next comment to reinforce his outrage was, so I called the league office. I wanted to know, what did I miss? What's going on? How was he allowed to, you know what I mean? All of that energy.
Okay.
And Gilly reacted, Steven Jackson reacted, couple other people reacted, and they said, like, you on some Fed shit. Like, bro, that's not your job. You don't work for the NBA. You don't have a horse in a race that way. But he defended it by saying, as a journalist on his level, just like a lot of the journalists that we watch, whether they admit to it or not, he has access, and they call the league office and they call representation for stuff all the time. But you're still, this once again, when you're explaining something that you did, you're watering down what it is and just saying something general. That's deflection. No?
I mean, I understand both points of view. I think personally I tend to side with Stephen A. Like I don't personally see an issue with going to a primary source. Like if you're a journalist and you have a question about why a decision was made and what the difference between two decisions was from a practical reporting standpoint, having that asking that question directly to the league, I don't necessarily see an issue with. Now, on the other hand, the way that I bet that this went down is more of the issue. Like Stephen A having like a personal relationship with somebody that he just keys with on the regular and like asks in an accusational way where he's implying that a larger punishment should have happened.
And the presentation of such to the public.
The presentation of such to the public is
the biggest problem.
Yes. So I get exactly what you mean by like, yes, Stephen A's answer, you know, on the surface level, it does make sense to a way. Like, yes, you are a journalist, you're allowed to make those phone calls, whatever.
Absolutely.
However, to your point, when you don't break down all three of those steps in the process, like
and you just go to a whole rage fit, and I don't want to turn up what he was doing, but I'm just talking about the energy that Steven has when he's trying to get a point across.
Right.
We've all seen it.
Well, and going back to if you remember our interview that we had with Mike, I forget his last name, the reporter. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, Mike Green.
Yes, Mike Green. Excuse me. So Mike Green, one of the things that he said during his interview was you need to know the difference between a pundit or something.
Pungent. I mean a pundit.
Pundit and an actual journalist.
Right, a pundit and a journalist. That's what it was. Yeah.
And Stephen A is a pundit. He expresses journalism.
He's a journalist.
Hold on.
All right.
He expresses journalism in a way that is like deliberately trying to
incite
and express his opinion towards the facts. So in most cases, he acts as a pundit. However, you're right, he is a journalist in some other circumstances. This, however, was a circumstance where I feel like he was acting as a pundit. So he shouldn't have said that out loud on the radio or on, on TV the way that he did, and he shouldn't have made that phone call in that sort of tone and manner in which he expressed that he did.
And 9 times out of 10, the the phone call probably wasn't made in the tone. The delivery to the public was made in it. That's what I keep.
Right.
That's why we go back to what we both agreed on. Like the biggest problem was the delivery to us
Absolutely.
because it wasn't even like a sound bite. It's like if you watch the whole statement, like bro, you was like, was that personal? Like it make it feel that way. And sometimes like a lot of a lot of athletes, artists, professionals of any caliber are real sensitive. But sometimes you understand where they be like, yo, you don't fuck with me or something? What I do to you?
Well, I mean,
Or they be like, I don't fuck with him. You know what I mean?
it's like somebody who's not your customer just happened to watch you at the ice cream stand making somebody ice cream and then tells your boss that you you didn't do it right. Like that's what it's like. Like it's crazy.
And then it's like, all right, you have these relationships to garner more information. Fine. You have relationships that you build off of your illustrious, beautiful career. We get that. But where's your leverage in this moment from the way that you presented the conversation to be like, because the way I see it, you see what I'm saying? Like, where is that at? Like, and where's the part about like not acknowledging the fact that they probably was already figuring stuff out behind the scenes as the NBA does?
Right.
It's the NBA, one of the best ran professional sports programs ever.
Well, and the part that nobody's talking about is like phone calls like that do create reactions out of organizations like the NBA.
They do. They not oblivious to it. Like they're not exempt to it. That's what it is. Exempt to it.
And especially if it's a media personality who has as big of a following as Stephen A, like
Brags about all the time, as you should.
it, that's gonna make it's gonna make more people critical of what the NBA is doing around that decision. It's gonna make the NBA have to revisit that decision in some sort of capacity, and that's not necessarily
And I
a
feel
fair
like
outcome.
that's part of the reason. I'm not trying to speak for him. I don't know the man, but I feel like with his journalistic integrity and his knowledge of his influence, I feel like that's why he didn't just make the phone call. He made the phone call public. Because once you tell America you made the phone call, now there's more pressure for them to do something and give a public acknowledgement or whatever it was done.
Yeah.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. Y'all tell us, did Stephen A overstep? You on K side? You on my side? And K don't really have a side. K really just went with logic and logic and logic. So she's on both sides. So let us know what y'all feel. Let me know how y'all took it. Let me know if I misspoke. But open to all of it because Stephen A gets to commentate on other on athletes, and I get to commentate on commentators a little bit respectfully. Respectfully, because I don't know half a pinky nail worth of what that man knows, but I do respect what he does, and I think that he totes a weird line sometimes that he doesn't appreciate out of other people. But whatever. Okay.
Speaking of athletic commentators,
Oh my goodness. Look at your transition.
right? I would introduce this topic, but I
Don't know what's going on.
no.
So Gilbert Arenas proposed to his ex-wife right after a fight, like a situation, like I guess they might have broke up for a second, you know what I mean, or had a moment. And the way that he tells it is, he proposed to her, and 8 days later, they broke up. And he said, "Yo, I gotta find a way to get that ring back. That ring worth over $250,000 to $500,000.
Okay.
So he bought a replica that was reported to be 8 or 10 million, and he swapped it out. Hold on. Yeah, 8 or 10 million, and he swapped it out. And
Wait, so the replica was worth 8 or 10 million, and the original was worth how much?
between 300 and 400 million.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's a lot of money for a fucking
Thousand.
ring.
Thousand. Hold on, let me think. Do the math. Bang.
So the original was worth
No, the original was worth
10 million.
no a quarter million. That's what I said the first time, and I got it fucked up. My bad. The original was worth a quarter million to a half a million.
Okay.
The fake was worth 10,000.
Okay.
It's a $10,000 fake or something like that.
Got it. That makes more sense.
Right. So
Which, like, 10,000 for a ring is still not
no, it's crazy that it was fake for 10,000.
right. Like that's still a lot of money for 10 for a ring. Like that means you're not using plastic and, you
No.
know,
So
sterling silver.
he went in an interview. It probably passed the what's the name test? The jewelry
Diamond
test.
test.
Yeah, the diamond tester. So he went on an interview and he talked about it. And the story I'm getting is from his mouth. And he was saying that so he made up with her when he had the realization that he busted the move. And at some point he swapped the ring out. And she didn't know about it.
Did he make up with her only for the purpose of swapping the ring out?
Yes.
That's cold.
I think it might have been one or two. I think it might have been two things at the same time. I think he made up with her knowing he was going to swap the ring out just in case. But if it would have worked out, it would have worked out type of thing.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, both can be true.
Yeah, it might have been that. I don't want to speak for that man. But it's just interesting that she's suing him for that.
So she's suing him for the amount of the ring
She's suing him
or
for
like emotional damages.
some shit like that. She's trying to get some money out of the fact that she felt like she was swindled.
Okay. Interesting.
Right.
Very interesting.
Right. And from what I'm hearing, she's not going to win this.
Well, I wouldn't think that she would
Yeah, I'm hearing she's not going to win it.
because you didn't go the marriage never actually happened. So he bought the ring.
Even if the marriage happened, you still got that ring.
Well, no, once the marriage happens, then it's like, you know, shared property and might have to go through divorce court and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Gil a funny motherfucker, man. He just don't give a fuck, yo.
and the fact that he outed himself in his own interview and then that led to a lawsuit is hilarious.
And now she coming out calling him a liar. And I seen a joint that said, "Does this look like a face of a liar?" With that face on it. Does that look like the face of a liar? Y'all tell us. But I just thought that was interesting. You ain't got much to say about it. We can keep moving. We got a lot to get to.
We definitely do.
Cash, you tapped in? If you tapped in, call in too. Something else I wanted to announce. I told them that on comments we will be responding to on lives. I think that that's important to know if you wasn't on at the beginning of the show. If you can't join the live chat, if you can't tap in right at 7 o'clock or you catch it late or whatever have you, just put it in the comments if it's interesting or excuse me, relevant like in a fashion that we didn't already cover, then we love to revisit some certain things, and me and Kay will decipher what's the difference. I think, right? You on board for that?
Yeah.
You see something interesting, you'll make note of it.
Absolutely.
I think that'll be cool. We'll shout y'all out and all that. We will never want to quote you without your name. So yeah, yeah. So we appreciate that, and shout out to whoever just sent the hearts, man.
That was me.
Oh, that was you sending hearts.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. If you want to shout yourself out because I see it's a couple people. We ain't too crazy, but we got a couple folks. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Where will we go next from here? Sukiana?
Yeah, we can go Sukiana.
It's the orange hair.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. Her hair is orange. All right. Talk to me, Sam.
You don't know what happened?
No.
Sukiana was arrested for possession and intent to distribute. And from what I saw on all the paperwork, Suki had a bunch of ecstasy with her.
Where was she
uh,
when this happened?
I believe she was in Miami. Let me pull it up. See, now I'm on my. I ain't gonna do that. I don't want to slander the woman. But you know what I was about to say. Now I'm on her shit. I don't remember the background story. Cause like I said, I try not to go through the whole week because there's so much that happens in a week that I forget some of this stuff. But let me see if I can find a Suki joint real quick. Shout out to Shade Room. That's what I'm scrolling right now, and I'm looking for orange hair. I'm looking for orange hair. I'm looking for orange hair. They post so much stuff. All right, here we go. Arrested on drug charges in Florida. I thought it was Florida, but I didn't want to lie to y'all because when Kay asks, she gonna check and make sure. Then you wrong, you wrong. But yeah, she was in
North
Florida,
Lauderdale, Florida.
North Lauderdale.
Yep.
Yeah, so statute, whatever, MDMA pills, possession with intent. So man, then MDMA, ecstasy, pending trial, bond type, BD, bond amount 25.
Oh, it wasn't just ecstasy. It's codeine too.
25,000, and then the next one is for the codeine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was partying. She was partying, and it looks like she paid about 7,500 bond amount to get out. 25 for one charge, 5,000 for the other charge. I don't know how that works, but that's what they had on the shade room. But yeah,
The police think that she might be a mule or distributor.
well, you know everybody's a mule now in Florida, right?
That's what they like to say.
That's what's going on, right?
Which is kind of ridiculous. Like, I find it hard to believe that everybody that has drugs on them is a quote unquote mule.
I mean, it's just the same way that they could put intent to distribute on some shit because you have a lot of weed or a lot of whatever you have, and it's like I might just have a really big habit or a lot of money.
Right.
Like I just don't live like you. And if this thing is acceptable in small amounts, or if it's a certain statute for that thing, don't just throw something on me unless you know that I was trying to distribute the shit. Like that's crazy. I think like it's so normalized that people don't realize unless you've been up against that type of shit that is weird as hell to just be like, oh, he has over an ounce of weed that's intent to distribute, or he has bags of weed, multiple bags of weed. Like I could have bought a fucking Pacquiao for me. See what I'm saying? If I go to where the weed at and I'm like I need a 7 or I need a half or something and they like it's bagged up, I'm gonna pull off looking like I'm about to sell it.
I want to know what type of rave she was going to.
With codeine and MDMA.
Yeah.
She might have been going to a swinger party or something. She might have been going to what they call it a key party. That's what the rich people do,
Or
right?
the sex club, something.
Rich people put all their keys in the basket.
Yeah.
Thought I didn't know about that.
Well,
I
good
don't.
luck to you, Sukiana.
Your
You know,
hesitation was phenomenal.
I never.
So many questions.
I never wish any sort of jail time for nonviolent offenses on anybody. So, you know, I hope she figures her life out, and I hope that this situation resolves itself.
Yeah, man. I want Suki to be alright, man. I don't think she mean nobody no harm but herself anyway.
But this is gonna make for a very interesting storyline on Love and Hip Hop Miami.
Now, if they weren't filming at the time, do they do an emergency filming or do they recreate it? How does that work?
If they weren't filming at the time, they will stretch filming to make sure that it's captured.
And they'll run with all the reports and shit.
They'll run with all the reports for
And
the
make
in
her talk
between.
about it.
Find security footage once it's released.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a while between when footage is captured and when it comes out, like usually around a month and a half. So, yeah.
Either way, they'll tie it in.
Yeah.
It'll be there.
It'll be there.
We'll get to see something, or at least however she spends it.
Yeah. Even if it's like they don't even use it until next season and it becomes like a flashback of what happened before, you know, in the meantime type of thing, they'll figure out a way to use it.
Let's go to Stunning Girl fight. Did you see that?
No. Wait. I think I did. Someone touched her butt, right?
Yeah. She was on stage performing. Dude was standing at the stage. She smacked her ass. Good smack, too. He got a good one. Like, wow. She looked at him. She gave him the nod. She sung a little bit more of her verse or her hook. She seen her, what is now being called her husband. She walked over to him. She said something. She, you know, showed him where he was at. And next thing you know, they treated that man like a rag doll, yo. You see him arguing with her husband, if that's her husband, but that's what they said it was. See them arguing, and then you just see him getting flipped and folded. You see him look like he out at one point, and then he stand up and start talking shit again, get folded, and it was crazy. It was really, really, really crazy. But did they do too much? Was it called for? What do you think?
Well, I think if I'm on stage, someone slaps my ass from in the crowd, I think them getting hands put on them is absolutely called for. And I think that if I'm performing, it probably shouldn't be me. So
She jumped in the fight. She got some hits off. They had to put her back on stage. She was down there in the shit. Then she stood at the stage and put her hands up, and they helped her get back on stage. Yo, she a gangster.
yeah, I see. That's one of those situations. I would let security handle that. That's what you have them there for. Like that, you don't want the liability to be on you. You don't want any of that sort of situation. As much as you're having an emotional reaction, because that is extremely disrespectful. Like, men, if you don't realize that slapping a woman's ass when you don't know them, or that's not like your rapport, or they don't consent, like that's highly disrespectful.
And it's sexual assault. That's why you deserve to get your ass whooped. You just assaulted her in front of her peoples, and I don't give a fuck, husband or not.
Right.
I thought it was interesting that it was her husband, and what I also thought was interesting is if you look closely to the first clip before the fight start, he's literally just trying to tell homie, yo, you can't do that. That's like basically like, yo, that's not acceptable. Like, yo, calm down type of thing. And homie is on some fuck that, for lack of better terms. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what his response was, but I literally read homie lips saying, no, you can't do that.
That's
Don't do that.
Crazy.
He wasn't even just like, you know how sometimes once the motherfucker come off stage to the crowd and they in your face, they're telling you what you're about to do. He wasn't on it like that. And I thought that was interesting too, because I bet he's probably smart enough to know what's on the line, and to know like who's with them, and if he get crazy, it get crazy,
Sure. Yeah.
But it was one of those things when the boy was talking so crazy to him, Big Boy walked up behind him, he ain't even dig it. Homie creased him. Bang!
Ooh.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes if you argue with me. Like, that's just how it goes. Don't let that much time go by. Get your shit off. Because it's coming. Ain't nobody in here watching that energy and being like, oh, it's cool. Are you crazy?
No.
That's crazy.
Not at all.
That's crazy, yo. But shout out to them. I just think like in the era of people thinking that they are part of the show and doing dumb shit and throwing shit and all of the stuff that's been going on lately, this is just another time to tell y'all, yo, just be a participant of the crowd. You are not a participant of the show. If they need somebody to smack her ass cheek, and as fat as her ass is, I'm pretty sure at some point of the show, somebody to smack it for you. You don't need the self-gratification in the jail. Because you can get arrested for that shit. Or concussed or whatever you wind up with because you didn't look in good shape after they kept folding you up and you just kept trying to act like you was good. I don't know. He might have been on the same MD. Never mind.
Oh, man. The Sam.
Next topic. You just erased Salute Tay-Rock. Was that personal? All right.
No. I'm just grouping things by the way that they make sense to me.
All right. See, don't confuse me because I'm slow. Speaking of altercations, A Boogie had a situation in Paris.
What happened?
So, the word was that he had a show in Paris and decided to go to a club or after party or after hours situation.
It was his decision, not like I'm booked for a walkthrough.
Nobody has said that he was booked for it yet because that was one of my first assumptions. And the energy didn't seem like that. But I also heard somebody say when you go to these other countries, they don't necessarily security don't treat celebrities the same as you would expect them to in this country. So he walks up to the door with not even a big entourage. Just it's a woman that's obviously with him, and it's a few dudes that look like security and probably a couple homies.
Okay.
They in Paris. It ain't 100 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And they're walking up to the bar. He's drinking champagne, visibly already on, but he just got off stage and he wasn't driving. He got drove there. So he's walking up to the door.
And before you continue, for those of you who haven't been to Europe before, drinking in the street is kind of normal.
Yeah, like that's not
there's
a
no
thing.
like brown bag rule.
Yeah,
Like you can just walk around
thank
with a
you.
bottle of wine and it's like totally normal.
Normal.
Okay, continue.
It's regular Tuesday night shit. Like it's not even a party thing. It's like how you carry it.
Yeah, like that's super normal.
So, but he lit. So it looks like they say to him he can't get in with the bottle, and then he puts the bottle off to the side, like how it's like a wall, and it might be like a little ledge space. He just sits the bottle down, and he like, all right, and it looked like he just trying to walk in.
Mhm.
And then the security is arguing with his people, and he's in the middle, and he kind of looking crazy because one, he a little buzzed, and two, he has a weird way of scoping the scene because I was paying attention to what he was doing. He was trying to make a decision, right?
Mhm.
So he looks around and he says, all right, cool, we out.
All right.
And they say, all right, we out. So they still arguing with his people while he's walking the right way. So now his people are walking with him. The young lady that I said you see in the video, she walks over to him. She's saying something to him. He walks and he sits inside the van, the transportation that he had,
Uh-huh.
and he gets back up like, oh shit, my bottle. You know what I mean? So he starts walking back towards the club, and I believe, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, I believe the bouncers thought he was trying to walk in because the bottle was next to the line. So it might have looked like he was trying to walk around the line type of thing.
Yeah.
So when he grabs his bottle, they start turning up again. So then his people get involved. He walks to the side, I believe, and then while everybody's arguing, all this mace gets sprayed, like the big can. I've been sprayed with this before. It'll clear a parking lot. It's crazy. So they spraying and they spraying, and A Boogie and them walk away, and his people are still going back and forth with the people, and Boogie getting frustrated on the other side of the street because they escorted him as far away as possible, so he on the sidewalk.
Right.
And he like, yo, why y'all treating me like this? You can hear him say that.
Mm.
And there's a guy that you notice, like when stuff is about to happen, you see this guy in a white t-shirt that kind of stops the fight from happening initially, and one of the bouncers has the joint that holds the velvet rope in his hand, trying to swing it. So the guy stops it, and then you see him talking to A Boogie when A Boogie says, why they treating me like this? And he's trying to calm A Boogie down, so I'm believing that he's the go-between. You see what I'm saying? He might have been the promoter, or he might have just been the one that said, yo,
tour manager
or something, but he's from over there. Like he knows them and he fuck with A. Like one of those type of relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was trying to calm the situation down. Your mic sounds way better now. What just happened?
Huh?
Your mic was sounding better when you just did whatever you did.
This?
No, that ain't it.
This?
No. You're not talking, so I don't know that.
I'm trying to figure it out. I can't tell which one I'm on.
Alright.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't know if that's in the room or in my headphones. Just a minute ago, you sound like using my headphones.
There we
Alright,
go.
there you go.
Check, check, check.
No. I hear it, but that's this mic.
Okay. Check, check, check,
There
check.
you go. There you go.
The issue is I think that my cord is going on this mic because there's like a mad buzz in the
Yeah,
background.
there's a buzz. I hear the buzz.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing overall, because we can wrap the A Boogie situation up, I believe that for the most part, his people was doing what they was supposed to do the whole time. When he was at the front door, they was handling the situation. When he walked away, they made sure he got where he was going. When he got out to go get the bottle, you hear the young lady say, no, I'll get the bottle. And somebody was like, no, I'll get the bottle. And Boogie was just on his shit. You know what I mean? Like, no, fuck that. I'm going to go get it.
Right.
And since he's the star, once he had a problem and they already was having a problem, and I've been through this at clubs. We've had sections and bottles ordered and all of that, and they try not to let us in, and we already done put deposits down. Like, I've been through this at clubs. Not saying it's the same situation, but I mean, just why are we having a problem at the front door and you know we came to play, right?
Mhm.
So I think his people handled it well. I think at a couple points his temper flared and you started to see like how he really be on it. But luckily everybody walked away with their eyes burning and probably their shirts wet and nothing more than that. Nothing got too crazy. So
That's good because you got to be careful, overseas. It can really go any which way.
and you can get locked up so quick. And them motherfuckers carry
Yeah.
knives. They all be having knives and blades.
Yep. Yep. So,
And they'll poke you. And if you say it's easier to shoot than poke, then what you think you dealing with?
well, I'm glad that, he's okay and that nobody was hurt in the situation and
No, it just
it
looked a
gets
little
sorted out.
crazy, man. And shout out to A Boogie for being a young man from the Bronx. Is he from? He from Highbridge, right? And getting overseas money to this day. This is years later for him. So salute to him because he definitely makes great music, but it ain't guaranteed. About to swap out.
Yeah.
Swap out the situation. Swap out the situation. Did you trying to think of something you ain't gotta change the screen for, but I guess. Oh, let me do this. Shit, it's a live show. I'm tripping. Bear with me. I'm making this phone call real quick. Cause it's trying to call me, but I guess he ain't. All right, there I go. I'm back.
I was just switching my channel over, so.
I just wanted to make sure they could hear me while I was doing the thing.
All right. Whew. We're better. That sounds so much better. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What's up with you, nigga? You on Sippin' with Sammy live? How you feeling to see Cash?
Hey, you already know it's your boy C Cash, man, live with my guy Sippin' with Sammy. What's the deal?
Ain't shit, man. I was sitting here and we was going through topics, and your name is on my topic board, man. Why you think that is?
Cause I'm just like the dopest rapper in the world. Like,
All right, so I'll talk to you next month. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
no, what's up? Why is my name on your topic list?
Cause you just had a battle that just passed this weekend.
Oh yeah, I did, but I didn't.
Talk about it.
So, shout out to Bill Collector. I was supposed to have play on this card called the Audacity, which was taking place in Camden, New Jersey. At this place called the Apothecary. Shout out to the Apothecary. They got some dope flavors in there. If you into the, to the premium, the gas and all that, it's a legal business, so you definitely can go check it out. But yeah, man, Ball Status, CKS versus Ball Status. I actually thought it was going to be a good fight because the guy actually showed up to my last battle about a week ago, and he was teeth and palms. We're gonna have a good fight, and I haven't written anything yet, but it's gonna be a rumble, and this and the third. And then at 6:45, the morning of the battle, he told me his daughter was in the hospital. I mean, shout out to him. Hopefully, his daughter was in the hospital, and he wasn't,
Well,
being untruthful.
not
And,
not hopefully that
she's okay.
his daughter's in the
Not
hospital.
hopefully that she's in the hospital, but
we get what you mean.
hopefully he was being honest.
Yeah.
And best wishes to his daughter.
Yeah, best wishes to her. If that actually was the case. I don't know that person personally, so I can't necessarily say.
He said, I ain't vouching for that nigga.
Yeah, I'm not.
Was it supposed to be 1 or 3 rounds?
Supposed to be more.
Okay. Okay.
But go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what happened. I had some shit for him, but things happen, and you live the battle another day.
Is it salvageable?
If the Gates want to book it, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing it. He's got a pretty extensive bad rap catalog over a stretch of like 10 years. I mean, but some inconsistencies there. Things that I'm willing to talk about in the round. But
Did you see the back and forth between Asameen, Kells, and what's the name from the Gates?
No, I didn't see that. I actually was in a peculiar situation with that.
All right, cool.
Because, no, actually, it was funny because I got the opportunity to be in.
What's the name? I mean, Dre Dennis, by the way. My bad.
Yeah, and I got the opportunity to be in a particular music video that may have had some shots going at the leagues, and I was testing the waters and asking certain people what's going on, and People was telling me they don't want to see me in no diss videos, and I'm still getting plates on certain leagues. And yo, this battle
Oh.
rap shit is politics at work. It's really like I would have thought I was trying to be the senator or some shit.
Is C-Cash alluding to the music video that just dropped today?
What league you talking about?
Battle Academy with K Walker, Prezi, and Luke.
Yeah, I could have been in the video, but I ain't necessarily. I wanted to.
You ain't had your black hoodie with you?
Nah, actually, when he called me to shoot that joint, I actually was I got caught up. Not even caught up. I was hanging out with wifey, so I didn't want to mess that up or whatever.
Family man, I dig it. I dig it. Did you see that Geechee Gotti just gave Tay Rock a lifetime achievement award? And happy birthday, Tay Rock, by the way.
Yeah. I seen some flicks. Shout out to Tay Rock, man. Happy birthday, yeah. That's I believe he was born the same year as me, cause
He
I'll be that
36.
age this year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you think about that though? What you think about Geechee doing that for him? Like, it's a plaque,
That's
but
dope. I mean, I think it's decent that a lot of the battle rappers, the top name battle rappers that have basically gotten what you're going to get, in battle rap, have started to take initiative to rebuild and try to restructure the culture. You know what I mean? With RBE and URL being at the top, it's like everything isn't on them. You know what I mean? So as these opportunities are given, you got to make opportunities for others, and I think that's dope for him to show some honorary extension to Tay Rock, even though he is like a peer of Tay Rock. You know what I mean? So
no, I thought that was fly shit for real. I definitely thought that
yeah,
was fly shit. You see what happened with the politics as usual event? You got any understanding about that?
somewhat. I've been watching, but then I try to stay locked into my own zone. Sometimes I really like wait until it's time to put bars together to really check out every single thing that's going on with battle rap. But what was the topic?
So the twist is that you gonna bring it up, Kay?
I was just gonna bring up the graphic.
Yeah, all right, cool. So the twist is, excuse me, the mayor of Charlotte
Right.
got with niggas to host like a not a retreat, but what it's called when everybody go to AC or Vegas as a company.
A registry?
No, it'd be like multiple days, and it'd be
Conference?
a conference. It was like a conference for battle rap. Like they did classes, they did sessions, they did podiums. You know what I mean? They fellowship, they ate and drank. It was open bar and stuff. I'm seeing Louis the 13 and Hennessy Paradise bottles everywhere. Like like you know what I mean? Like better living. And
Right.
every battle wound up having like an extra 20,000 on the floor, 40,000, 50,000 on the floor on top of him already giving everybody the best accommodations and paying everybody what they was worth in the first place.
Oh, that's fire.
They had a cipher where it was a $5,000 cipher, and halfway through he just stopped it and was like, "Fuck it, everybody get $5,000." They was like, "Hold up, niggas still want rap." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know if it's gonna last because he got the same energy that a lot of people that surround battle rap do. He one of us, like he give it up like that. Like, yo, these white folks don't want to see us win, but this is a $100 billion economy and we need our peace, and in politics get $100 billion, then battle rap gonna get some of that, and this is gonna be something that's regular. This ain't just one time. And I'm like, yo,
That's major.
What he's trying to do, and we've seen a lot of people coming to battle rap and try to do things that are big, but this is like he figured out something to where it's like, all right, if y'all doing things for minorities, then these are minorities, and I want to allocate the funds this way.
Right.
And I'm gonna build something through this that spreads. But I think that is innovative. I think it's dope. I think that anytime, just like when Cassidy had everybody in Atlanta at the mansion and stuff, Geechee had everybody at the Crip mansion. I think that's always just fire in itself. But I like the fact that it's a politician doing it. That's crazy.
Right. Yeah, that's super crazy. And that comes from full circle with the title, politics as usual.
And that's what
I mean. And the battle rap shit is so political in itself, so it's like it's dope.
Yeah, triple entendre, damn near. But it's crazy.
Exactly.
Cause even when they was like, "Yo, we thank you for hosting and taking care of everybody and making sure we was good," he was like, "Bro, I watch y'all on YouTube for free when I'm stressed out at work and sick of dealing with them white folks."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I ain't do nothing for y'all. I'm paying y'all back."
Mm.
While it's a bunch of Louis the 13th bottles on the wall. Like, come on, cuz.
Yeah, I would have loved to be at that event. That was crazy.
But hip hop is still a young sport and a young entity, right?
Right.
And battle rap is even younger. It was part of the originality, the foundation of hip hop, but the
Mm-hmm.
the battling for in league fashion, structured
Yeah.
battling
Yeah.
is the newest part. So you are a part of what is basically boundless. Like y'all don't know what's going to happen next. Like nobody
Right.
knew that a mayor was going to set some shit up and bring a lot of fly
Yeah.
energy. You see what I'm saying? I think
Uh-huh.
that's a dope
Yeah.
space to be in. What you
That's
think about
super.
that?
That's super decent, especially in a state where everybody, like I said, everybody's looking towards RBE and URL, like for the NBA, so to speak, of battle rap, and it's like, nah, man, it's like we could take this thing further than that.
Shout out to T Top. Shout out to my sis lady Caution. Shout out
Yeah,
to
for sure.
Kyle. You know what I mean? Like who was all on the
Mm-hmm.
card, Kay?
Um,
Shout out to Bad News.
John the Don, Calico,
Yeah, John John.
Arsenal,
I heard John won that one.
Bad News,
Arsenal Bad News.
Tay Rock Loso,
Tay Rock Loso. I heard that's debatable.
T Top Chef Trez,
T Top Chef Trez. I know that was crazy.
Mm.
New Jersey Twerk versus I can't tell who that is. Is that
Twerk?
Sion or
No, that's what's the name? Who was that?
Clone?
Clone.
Um,
Pause. Twerk got rushed to the hospital.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Somebody say, get well.
Yeah, he actually posted the how you be having the wristband and the shit stuck in your hand and all of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
He posted one of them kind of pictures, so it ain't one of them. And this is one of them events that like he was there the whole weekend. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like them niggas went a couple, and that's when I say it was like convention, like they've been there since like Wednesday and Thursday,
Right.
and they've been doing stuff together the whole time. So he was there up until whatever point he had to get rushed to the hospital, and he just missed his battle. So this isn't an unprepared twerk situation. This is something happening.
Uh-uh.
He said he said we gotta take better care of ourselves and stuff like that. So he might have
Right.
dehydrated.
Right. It's possible.
my package just got delivered.
You gotta make a run.
I might need to make a run.
Oh man, so what I'm gonna do? We gonna stop?
It's probably 5 minutes each way.
All right, so Cash, you gonna hang out with me?
Sure, why not?
Fucking nut.
Yo, you don't get to talk to me like this on camera, man, because then I'm gonna have to come over there and fight you on camera. Then what?
I'm gonna have to actually battle you with some shit, huh? No, but you seen the diss records going on in battle rap?
Yeah, for sure. I just told you could have been part of a video.
Yeah. All right, well, so all right, break down the you want to break down the one you was talking about, or you want me to bring up something?
Nah, I mean the one I was invited to was Prezi Loot and K Walker. They just was all collectively taking shots at the leagues. I think it's good for promotion. Everybody is setting up to do a super card, where everybody top guys on the leagues or whatever, and
Who had the best verse in your opinion? Who had your favorite verse?
I ain't even watch all of them, to be honest, bro.
Nah, tap out. He's lying. He's lying, by the way. He's lying.
I'm lying. I ain't watching. Bro, listen.
I know you be having battles every week. I'm fucking with you. I know you battle.
It's not even just that. It's the mere fact that, I be wanting to be involved in these things. So it's like sometimes I kind of, sometimes pour a little extra ice in the cup, and just, sip on the light juice, just to, keep it going and be a part of things. But, I be wanting to be involved in this shit. Like, I'm in a funny situation, like I said, because I could have been in that video because I'm not in bad standards with Battle Academy, but I'm getting plates from Geek to the Garden. So it's like some people over there would look at me a certain way for being in a video dissing them when I'm getting promoted by these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny
So,
looking.
but in the same breath, I'm not on the gatekeeper roster to be going at these other leagues and getting that top exposure that they get. So, you know, it puts me in a funny position, just make me want to go harder and work harder. You
You
know what I
see?
mean? So,
Did you see the Easy versus Hitman disc records?
yeah, the Easy John, I glimpsed through that. I more so was paying more attention to Cassidy John and like the shit he was saying.
Talk
About
about
Easy.
it.
I kind of felt it. I felt where Cassidy was coming from. I feel like you know, all right. So this the whole thing with Easy, and it's like everybody noticed the quarrel with him. It's like, all right, you supposed to be from the city. Nobody remembers you from the come up days. And then it's like, okay, we embrace you and say you from the city and stand behind you. And then it's like now you're trying to go at all the Philly legends in order to build your buzz up. Like that's kind of crazy. Like you know what I'm saying,
Can
I'm
I
not gonna
tell?
lie.
Can I tell the whole world a secret?
Well,
Back when Easy was with his ex, and
right.
since then, he's told y'all that he got with her. He used her knowledge and her connections, and he's been running a playbook the whole time.
Right.
He's created a lot of things, and I don't want to necessarily say a character, but part of it is character involved. But it's a lot of energy that he created that was based on what her as an insider told him about how things work and how to get to the top and how to get
Yeah.
tapped in.
Some Meek
And
Mill type,
yeah,
Nicki Minaj type shit.
to the point where like there was no loyalty involved in it. It was just
Right.
make the play, make the play, make the play. Oh, this worked better than I thought. Adjust, adapt. But in between, a lot of shit fall through the cracks, and you start looking fake sometimes.
And that's what it is now. And like Cassidy was saying, like, damn, you know, when Easy was set up to battle Reed,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, damn, you know, I'm about to battle Reed. Just to tell you, like, man, I don't like that shit. That shit corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel like Reed on his downslide, and you getting like your upside now, and it's like you trying to use that to catapult your shit. You like, and then now it's like you trying to battle me. Cassidy was saying he ain't taking no type of pay cut. He want the bread he want, and that's that. If not, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Did
So
you see
I mean, I respect it.
Did you see what Cass said about the freeway situation?
No, what do you say?
He said he got the biggest deposit URL ever gave out,
And they ain't even battle.
and he said it wasn't to block a battle because you can't do that to him. He don't sign nothing like that.
Right.
He said he ain't even want to take it though. He said he felt like he fucked with Free, and that has been a stain on Free Jacket, his whole career type shit. So like if Free not really a battle rapper, you really want to revisit this like when I fuck with him? Like he felt like
Yeah.
so he
Why
already
want to revisit this 20 years later?
when Free done been through shit and doing good shit.
Yeah, and then Free been through some shit and doing good shit. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about you picking your poison as an artist. You know what I mean? Like some people could say, I make better songs. I can't get in a battle because of that and say, oh man, I make better songs anyway. No, I was in a battle. So if I was in a battle, I gotta go through what that takes. You understand what I'm saying? So
that ain't wrong.
yeah, like if Free, didn't want to do that, I think he should have just bowed out gracefully.
I don't think it was on Free. I think that they never wound up putting the whole thing together as a league.
Yeah.
I think it's one of them things, but they don't get that deposit back. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
That deposit is that's a hold for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting what he said about it. Tap in with it when you get a second though.
No, yeah, for sure. I was watching part of that video. I just didn't watch the whole thing.
You see, Ness just did No Jumper, right?
Yeah, I seen the picture from that. I ain't seen the video yet though.
Yeah, I ain't see it pop up yet, but shout out to Ness for working as much as I might not fuck with Adam.
He's definitely working. I think he doing some shit in LA or something right now.
That's why, yeah, exactly.
I just was with Ness like 2 weeks ago and shit at the Benny the Butcher tour date and shit. He was backstage with us and shit, kicking it.
I think I was with him 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fine. But no, and shout out to Tammy Jean. Her clips from her party are going viral. So shout out to her, man.
Yeah, for real. And shout out to you said you was at Core in the studio with Core. I seen a video of his
I ain't even tell the people that, but go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, that's cool.
But, yeah, I seen his Up the Par video. That song dope, man. I like that video, man.
Word.
Big Oo was in that joint and shit. Shout out to Big Oo.
Shout out to Oo. Oo got a slide too. I still gotta follow up with Oo and get him through here. I'm glad you said Oo. Shout out to Oo.
Yeah, this was with him at the Hip Hop since 1987 Cypher with Prezi Kid Walker and Top Floor Luke. And they had somebody else there too. He was fire.
Well, let's figure that out.
Yeah, for sure.
What I was about to say though, damn, you spun me. It's cool. Go ahead, say what you were saying though.
I wasn't saying nothing else.
Oh no, but Ness is definitely working. Definitely salute to him. That's a platform with damn near 5 million people on it. So
Louis, yeah, and he just did for academics shit.
Well, I think that's a result.
Get a new major deal right now.
I think working. Exactly, and I think that's a result of doing academics. I think that Adam is at a point right now where if Ak thinks that you're interested enough to talk about and you're from where Meek from and all of that type shit, he's bringing you through. He brought a few Philly niggas through recently.
I don't know how I feel about being on what you call it with Bull.
I don't know what that means, and neither do the people.
Adam, it's just how you got this hip hop presence and you do all this kinky shit too. It's just kind of crazy to me. But
I'm gonna keep it G with you.
He on some 2024 white beat pumper type shit, like.
I got some ideas about. Matter of fact, fuck it. I'm gonna say it, right? No, cause I done said it, but I'm gonna say it. I never said it on the platform, but I feel like Adam is 10, 20 years. Whenever he retires from like this form of what he's doing, from sitting down and going public and saying, "You see what I had all these niggers and gangbangers doing for free? You see how bad they wanted to be around me? You see how I had it lit? I ran hip hop." He's gonna say stuff like that, bro.
Yeah. After a while, he's gonna start feeling himself type shit.
And it's crazy because it's the energy that people thought that Vlad was gonna have, but when you compare the two, Vlad ain't nothing like that.
Yeah, Vlad don't be on it.
He ain't on it like that. I've seen, and since he's been doing interviews, you get his perspective more. But like, it's crazy.
They try to make it seem like Vlad be on that, but he really don't. Like he asks for like people's entire story. Now, if there's some shit that's in the story that's interesting, he gonna highlight it. But that's what he's supposed to do.
I think people don't realize that that's kind of what made Adam pop.
Right.
When like the same stuff they blame Vlad for, when they be like, yo, he had niggas come through there and he asked them about stuff and they incriminate themselves. For a minute, that's what Adam was doing. He was getting those young niggas with the face tattoos and the colorful hair to come through there, and they was dissing each other. And they would be leaned out of their mind and falling out of the chair, and then they would bring their homie on and he would diss them too.
Yeah,
and that was that was piggybacking or during the energy of the Chirac shit.
Yeah.
So the people on YouTube and on social media wanted that energy, and he was the other source for it. He been piggybacking academics for a long time, for real.
Mm-hmm.
When you really think about it, I don't think niggas realize that, because I actually was watching it way before all of that.
Right.
So anyway,
what you think about what's going on in the boxing world?
Talk to me.
Well, Devin Haney, after that, it's been a whole uprising of a bunch of like fuckery going on in boxing. After he knocked out Haney, you got Bill Haney arguing with Floyd.
Right.
Then you got Floyd arguing with Tank now.
And then Tank. This is one of our topics. Bring it up.
There was just a whole bunch of other shit coming out, like
the shit with Floyd being stuck in Dubai.
Floyd stuck in Dubai. Then they saying Floyd, they saying Tank is fucking Floyd's daughter. And Ryan Garcia said it wasn't even like he wasn't even the only one to expose it. Like, all right, people already know. Then you got Tank beefing with Floyd. Then you got Floyd posting Tank doing the I want to rock in his
Yeah,
drawers,
that
like
was
all
crazy.
kinds of shit.
Why do niggas do that? Like, what kind of steroids is dumb? What make you do that?
You was on live too, cuz he like, what are you doing?
Like, you felt sexy and went
On some
live.
Baltimore shit, like,
That's
dummy, what
some
are you
that's
doing,
some
dummy?
thought shit. You felt sexy and went live. He was thotting.
He was drunk. He probably was drunk in the middle of the day.
Yo, that's crazy, yo. I don't even know about spicy vids. Like, y'all catch me with like I ain't gonna lie, like
You know,
niggas
it's
be
crazy. The shit that I've seen this year alone is definitely crazy on that tip. Like the shit that niggas
yeah.
do.
But niggas will act like, yo, I'm famous, so everybody make a big deal out of what I do. No, why
Not
did
even
you do
famous
that?
niggas.
Why did
Not
you
even
do
famous.
that shit?
Main cuz that was singing I'm Every Woman
Yeah.
with Harry B's on
Yeah.
wasn't famous. I mean, he was Instagram. He lit on Instagram a little bit, but he ain't even worldwide. He was doing that shit.
We talking about Poppy?
Yeah.
Oh, all
It's
right.
fucking,
Muslim
it's
Poppy.
fucking, them cameras is fucking the devil. Them and them views is the demon sent.
Bro.
That shit is crack, perks, all kinds of shit in one.
Yo,
The
it's so
superhuman
sickening,
speed
yo.
ball.
You said in one. That's amazing. Yo, that's crazy.
All types of drugs in one. I'm telling you, like, but yeah, it's crazy though, cause Tank about to fight this guy Frank Martin, and I was just watching the fight on him. Man, that guy looks serious.
Yeah, Frank. Yeah, he tough.
He's strong. He's fast. You know what I mean, got crazy footwork. He know how to like really pivot and throw shots a certain way off his feet. I don't know. This could be the guy that might him take some trouble or maybe beat him in a decision.
I hear that. Yo, speaking of since I got a battle rapper on here, I got one more topic for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You seen that the nigga that ghostwrite for Benzino, he ghost wrote the Eminem diss track came out and spoke on Henny Man channel?
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the nigga that wrote the Elvis joint.
He wrote a diss track for Benzino.
Yeah, against Eminem.
And that was recent.
Yeah, it was the one that everybody was fucking
Hey,
with.
hard to believe Benzino ain't in the loop to be writing no diss tracks versus for no fucking Eminem. That ain't hard to believe. Was Benzino ever nice as Eminem?
No, but the nigga is also a battle rapper. He a legend too. I forget his name. But watch the joint. You'll see.
The nigga who wrote the verse.
Yeah, he a battle rapper. That's why Henny Man had him. They was at the event together. Yeah.
So was it news that he had a ghostwriter, or is this is the news?
It had got leaked a while ago because the video came out of like I guess the session.
Yeah.
You know how like reference tracks get leaked? It was like one of them joints where it's like, no, look, he's singing the shit. You know what I mean? And
That's not hard to believe if you ask me.
He was on some shit like fuck whoever leaked it. He knows who leaked it. He said the boy name, and he was on some shit like it was never supposed to get out that he wrote it, and that that's not new. Like niggas know when they gotta sauce something up, they gotta come to him because he do that.
Man, you're not gonna regulate fucking using no ghostwriter and no diss record to me. I don't give a fuck who you are, how much money you got, how much you did in the industry, and none of that. The mere fact that you are who you are means you. This is what I don't understand about these niggas, man. And that shit burns me up, bro, because it's like somebody who like treat this shit pure, who really like care about this shit and really get that shit my all. Like I be like, for instance, I just had a fucking battle. Nigga didn't fucking show up. I'm not. I got another battle on the 26th of May. I'm not using that whole round and trying to revitalize that to go for another opponent. No, I'm gonna start over and write a whole new joint for a new, like, be true to the craft. So for him to like to do that and then try to downplay and say, "Oh, this ain't nothing new. This what he do," like that's just making the whole industry and the whole culture look nutty. You know what I'm saying?
But what
like,
he's saying, I think he's saying industry niggas hit him up when they need that sauce.
So what? That's not.
But there's another point that. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. There's another point that was made too, right? There's a bar in the joint where he say, you ain't even ride for proof to about Eminem, and homie said, I never wrote that because I fuck with proof. Now you as a nigga that you make great music, you battle at a high level, you know what I'm saying? You might ghostwrite something for somebody that might go to the people. If they like add a line that you don't agree with, How would you feel about that? Or is that up to them because they still got to get their shit off?
Is it going on record that I'm ghostwriting this?
It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be ghostwriting, like the real ghostwriting. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm. If that's the case, then I'm not. Then I didn't write it.
Yeah, you're not tripping because you like, well, Rug needed
No,
a.
I'm telling you, I ain't write it.
Oh,
I ain't
you
write
just,
that.
I didn't write that part.
No, I ain't write that shit. Period.
Oh,
If
all
it
right,
was,
all right.
if it was never supposed to be out that I wrote it, I'm not taking claim for none of that. Like I plead the fifth.
Oh,
I
you
ain't write
still
that
on,
shit.
you still on the same timing. I'm just, all right. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
No, I dig
Like,
it. But like, I'm just saying because I think like, cause you know,
listen, let me stop you real quick. Let me cut your wisdom, right? If it's somebody who actually got some ghostwriting shit in the works and has done that, right?
hmm
When I do that, I'm not I'm not doing that like I'm writing for me. I'm writing for the perspective and the viewpoints and the feelings of someone else's life and their endeavors and what they think and how they move. So
but in a
if you're
diss,
doing this correctly, that person is present. It's just like if you write autobiography, don't the person who like they talking about they sit with the writer and give information for the writer to cultivate into the autobiography.
right? You right. You
So
right.
this is how they're right. So this is what I would think is the format of ghostwriting. Now, if you're talking about this is somebody that's cool, but even though you dissing another person and the other person is gonna present it, you have to give it up from that perspective. If I'm a southpaw and you right-handed, I can't make you fight this nigga southpaw. You know what I'm saying? Like you,
Absolutely.
you gotta fight how you would fight. So the shit gotta be crafted how he would say it. You know what I mean? Or how he would attack it. So
No, and I'm with that. But one thing is like the first point that I gotta respond to about what you said earlier because I love your point because you're right. I just don't want the audience to get confused. He didn't come out and say he ghost read it. It got leaked, and he actually
right,
feels some type of way about it. He never spoke about it until he spoke to Henny Man, and he said he probably never speak about it again. And he said fuck whoever leaked it because it was a business play for him. You know what I mean? It was a
right.
thing. And Benzino called Math Hoffa to diss Eminem before. Math has spoken on that many a times. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
And it's one of those things where it's like if he's like if it all depends on how you look at it. If you like, oh, this is a way to gain a relationship or get a check or see how sharp my sword is, so to speak.
yeah,
You know, it's a lot of ways to look at that, right?
yeah, I get that, but this is the thing. If it's really ghost writing, who the fuck knows about it to leak the
I
shit
told you the
besides
video.
me?
No, he know. You know how like with when Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole, we like who leaked the video. He knows exactly who leaked it. That's what's crazy about it. Like it's kind of fucked him up because like that part I said that he didn't write about proof. People been holding that against him. Like,
Right.
cause now they looking at it like, oh well, you wrote this shit, and he like, I would have never wrote that part. Like, I wouldn't never
Yeah.
disrespect that man. And
I
that's when it's
mean,
deep. You know what I mean?
I
That's a little
can't, I
different.
can't, I can't. I understand that, but it's like I can't not fault the people who came, sat together, and said, "All right, I'm gonna do this record, but you gonna write it, and then allow somebody to be able to leak it. If it's a secret, if it's a ghost writing thing, then there's supposed to be the ghost. If it's not a ghost, if someone can identify who wrote it and who didn't write it. You see what I'm saying?
We
So
go to the studio with your producer's son in there, the one that looked just like him.
you
We
gotta
all
get the fuck out.
we all smoking and chopping it up, right?
No, he
Cause
has to go.
but he be in there all the time during your sessions. He pop
It
up.
don't matter for this situation. He gotta go.
But say he caught some footage and it
If
was
me
all
and you in
love.
the studio, if me and you in the studio right now, right, in the last spot we was just at, everything is the same how it normally be.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my own, and my engineer got his son in there or somebody in there that ain't supposed to be in there. I'm gonna either step out or somebody got a rule. If somebody, let's say he come in there with some shit, one of my homies come in there with some shit. You know what I mean? Just so that they hit a lick or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, step out here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything not for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cause I'm gonna get an example for the audience. You're cutting me off as what I was trying to say. No, it's all good. It's all good. But what I was trying to say, are you getting back on the camera, lady?
You can catch
Excuse me.
Right, but we got topics that Cash don't know nothing about, and you've been handling your handle, so I've been letting you live. But she never left, by the way, audience. She actually never left. She just tapped out. But
Well, stop making me look crazy to my own shit I don't know nothing about and all that.
no, I ain't asked you I ain't asked you none of them joints yet. I'm talking about
How
shit
you
that
know
you.
if I knew about it or not?
Well, I've started everything by
Making
asking.
me seem absent-minded on camera, like damn.
All right, fuck out of here. Anyway, what I was saying was, if y'all was on good terms at the time, right, and Youngin took a clip and he was like, I ain't even posting it. You know what I mean? And at the time, his intention wasn't to post it. And then you went through something with your producer or engineer, and he felt some type of way about it as the person attached to that person, and he leaked it. That's what I was about to ask, just for the audience to know.
There is none of that. I'm not letting that happen. Me personally.
But I think it was some weird shit like that, where it was like somebody that's usually probably around, and they did some fuck shit because maybe they fell out of the circle or they needed an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's fucked up because it's corny shit. Like, I'm not co-signing it. I just wanted to get that off real quick.
it's a lot of corny shit that be going on, man. But you know.
Well, when people are chasing stardom, especially more than they chasing the bag, it's always gonna be corny. It's always gonna be weird. Always. But I appreciate your time, bro. We're gonna get back to these topics, man. Next time maybe you be through here. But I think I'm gonna have my homie here next week too, so come through.
Alright, that's a bit. I got you, brother. You already know. Appreciate y'all.
And I'm gonna fuck you up for how you was talking to my young boy, man. He ain't crazy.
You're not gonna fuck me up, and I talk to my boy how I want to talk to him.
Alright, you owe me 5 minutes.
May 26th, man. Is it worth Trenton, New Jersey? See Cash versus Kush too.
More importantly, May 26th, my birthday. Fuck you.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, nigga.
Alright, nigga, let me know what's going on, bro. Have fun, man.
I mean, you better be around. Alright. Kay, you back?
I'm back.
Golly.
Well, the package has not been found.
Well, that's their fault, and I know it's important, but we got to get through this real quick, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Woosah. 4 deep breaths. 1 long exhale.
It's an important package.
I'm sure. So it should be in short. But it's important, more timely than anything, and I understand that.
Yeah.
I get it. So, Candace Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what this is about?
Yes.
Give me some, give me a little bit of that little background that Kay know about Candace and what's going on.
All right. So
take your break.
Candace Parker announced that she is retiring from the NBA. So if you are not familiar with who Candace Parker is, she's been one of the stars of the WNBA for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
She's been, a very productive player, someone that, gets a lot of endorsements outside of just the league. So she's also someone who's been kind of put in the spotlight when we talk about the WNBA and the movement to gain more traction and viewership for women's basketball in general. She's been a big part of that. So the fact that she has announced that she is officially retiring from the WNBA, I think it's bittersweet. I think that, her legacy and her career overall has been amazing. And I think, her retiring from playing just means that she's going to see plenty of more opportunities within the sport on different sides of the ball, because I could see her, continuing with commentating and
yeah, she's awesome at commentating.
Just doing even more than just that and really being a spokesperson for the sport. And it would be great to see her actually get a role at the WNBA if that's what she so desires. So
I'm trying to find. I had seen a visual of all of her accomplishments. It was a picture that had, every one of the awards, every record she broke and all of that stuff. And I'm trying to find it now, and it's crazy because I should have saved it or put a pin in it or whatever you call it.
yeah.
But I thought I knew what page it was on, and when I looked up the page, it's not on there. But let me see if I can see something real quick, because I want to shout out how much she's actually done. as a female athlete or athlete in general, because you're talking about a very talented, very intelligent superstar, and like you said, on the broadcasting side, she's phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
She's phenomenal. So she's already started to transition into her second act, so to speak. But which is important because a lot of athletes, they struggle with what they're gonna do.
So
Three-time champion. Okay, is this English? All right.
two-time most MVP award for the
Mhm.
WNBA.
Mhm.
She was in the All-Star game. She has 2 Olympic gold medals.
Mhm.
She also won the WNBA Rookie of the Year.
She won the Rookie of the Year the same year that she won MVP.
MVP, yeah.
That's like never unheard of.
And she won an Olympic gold that year too.
Yeah, like nobody does
Her
that.
rookie year, she won MVP, won Rookie of the Year, and
Mhm.
won an Olympic gold medal.
Like, what are we talking about? Hold on.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about, yo? A trailblazer, played in the sport at a high level at a time where a lot of the women in the WNBA had to have another job or play overseas in the off season. There wasn't no real money in there, and it's still not no real money in there. It's getting better. But like you said, she had outside endorsements and things like that. But she played in an era where it was thankless. She fought a lot and struggled through a lot for young women around the world to feel like they could do that too, and to have opportunities that they wouldn't have had if she'd have just packed it up as soon as they gave her a microphone. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think that's I don't know if you can say enough about Candace Parker, but salute to that queen. Well deserved, man. We already see what you're doing, and you sitting next to Shaq, and Shaq treat you like little sis. So you're gonna see her do things business wise that you never imagined. So salute to her.
Absolutely.
Salute to her, man. That feels good, man. Shout out to her. To see her really do what she's been doing at the level she's been doing it, and she's walking out on top in a lot of ways, I believe. I believe this is a graceful bow out, right? Ain't that what that is?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know about Cheeseball Man?
Now, to be honest, when I started looking him up, the image that I first saw looked familiar. Like it looked like something I'd seen before while mindlessly scrolling through social media or something. So please explain to me what just happened.
Cheeseball Man was in New York City,
Yes.
and he posted posters saying that he would be at a location in the park at a certain time, and he will eat an entire jar of cheese balls, the 3-gallon jug cheese ball joint,
That's crazy.
and people showed up, and they showed up in droves.
This is like Rotisserie Chicken Man that we had.
I don't know about that, but put me on
Yes,
after
you
this.
do. We
Alright.
we talked about it on the show. There was a guy in Philly who was just eating rotisserie chicken every day for like 48 days straight.
Oh, okay. But this is different because he had an audience that was very eclectic, by the way, that stood there to watch him eat a bucket of cheese balls in real time. Like, you don't know how long it's going to take or nothing. But the funny thing about it is he did it in an orange ski mask, which is brilliant. He's a marketing genius.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little things sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And
And a cape.
in a cape, and he did it in dramatic fashion. He really put on a show. Like it was performative.
Okay. Like each cheese ball was dramatic.
Like it was handfuls, and then it was one at a time, and then it was put a couple in your mouth and go, ooh. And then it was dun, 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 like it was just like every way you could just eat cheese balls, like to just keep people engaged as opposed to you just going, how many you think I got left? It wasn't one of them. That's what I'm saying. Like he committed. Like this is something he's trained for. Okay.
That's crazy.
He got options. He know how to manipulate the cheese ball eating.
I wonder if he's like a drama major that's like washed up and never could make it in the acting world and then just decided, you know what? Fuck it all. I'm just gonna eat cheese balls on the internet.
Anytime somebody does something this weird with this much thought about it, and then thought behind it, and then wears a mask while they do it, I'm always thinking there's a darker, deeper criminal link. Like there's something
I
else going
completely agree.
on.
I completely agree.
Like you're somebody, or you about to be, and you don't want us to know, so you just try something out, and you just experimented with America.
Right.
You just ran a focus group with America. But I thought it was interesting because it's literally been going viral. Like people really talk about Cheeseball Man, but more than that, I talk about on the platform all the time how like people don't know what it's like to get 30, 50, 100 people that's paying attention to you while you performing and doing something that you care about.
Yeah.
This is the exact depiction of that. Nobody thought they wanted to see Cheeseball Man until he said, I'm gonna eat a bucket of cheese balls today. And he had the balls to do it, and he did it. No pun intended or pun intended. Fuck it. Triple entendre. Let's do it. But I thought that was fun. What you think? There's always something in New York, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing strange in New York.
No, and that's exactly what I was about to say. Is everything in New York is a spectacle, so why not make a spectacle out of the mundane?
Shout out to SNS, man. We talked about New York. Y'all gonna see that episode soon. It's really funny. He's very honest about the things. Our perception of them, he understands them completely. So watch when that come out. What you think? Am I lying?
No, you're totally right.
I mentioned something. He'd be like, no, yeah, that's and nigga. Great stories. Shout out to him, man. That's gonna be fun when y'all see that. I can't wait to see the feedback on that. I'm a Philly nigga. I'm a Challenger Harlem nigga all day. I'm from uptown too.
So in other news and things that's going on, Biden officially passed the TikTok ban bill. So
which button do I hit for that?
Well, let me explain it first.
Okay.
So for those of you who haven't been following, there has been a lot of controversy around TikTok in general, because it is owned by a Chinese company.
There you go.
And there's a lot of questions as to what that means as far as the usage of our data, because China has a lot of control over their companies, more so than in the United States. Remember, it's a different type, like they're not capitalist over there. Like there is government involvement in corporations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an important thing to note, because all of this data and all of the algorithms that we always talk about, that's going directly to the Chinese government. And it opens us up to types of things that happened in our previous election, where Russia was able to tamper using social media. So similarly, there's a lot of fear that something...
And there's market implications too with that kind of information. Because
Absolutely. But I think that, there's a lot of fear, particularly right now, because we do have an election coming up, and there's a lot of data that you can get, particularly around one's interests or demographics, from apps like this. So the bill itself, they put together a bill that basically says that TikTok needs to be sold to an American owner in order to continue to be allowed to be held in Play Store and, whatever the Apple one is.
Is that possible? Because TikTok doesn't only exist in the U.S. They would have to sell the U.S. version? Or is that like selling part of the franchise?
The U.S. server.
That's like selling part of a franchise.
Yeah, like you can subjugate the company so that...
But how do you not...
But it would still need to be separate.
Yeah, because you can't have any control.
Right.
That's crazy.
And I'm imagining, at that point it would be traded on the U.S. stock market as well.
Right.
So there's also a lot of financial implications to this.
Absolutely. This is marijuana at this point.
Well, and furthermore...
Gold rush.
The next obvious question is, well, who could buy TikTok here in America?
Soulja Boy.
This is a company that's worth probably billions.
No, it's hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy wants to buy it.
So...
Soulja Boy.
who you would think of is like most of the tech giants that you would already think of, like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs
Or
or
Ray J and Soulja Boy.
sure.
Tech giants. All right.
The issue is there's also anti-monopoly laws here in America. So a lot of those tech
Those have been
giants,
getting loosened up a lot lately, I've noticed.
yes, but with tech in
General.
particular,
Right.
it's something that the U.S. government is starting to become a little bit more wary of because we do have, an oligopoly situation going on where there's multiple entities at the top, but only about 4 of them. So, arguing that is really competition is getting a little bit tougher. And if they swallow up TikTok, which right now is their main competition, that argument gets, even tougher because swallowing up TikTok would basically put one of them on top of all of the others.
I need to hear that word again. Oligopoly? I feel like
Oligopoly?
yeah, I feel like motherfucking Ocho Cinco right now. What was what was that word you just? I need to get my notepad.
Oligopoly.
Oligopoly.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
It's like not quite monopoly.
I see what you did there. But you didn't make that up. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a state of limited competition in which market is shared by a small number of producers or sellers. It's like a legitimate economic term.
The crazy thing is you knew how to spell it because you searched it that fast. You are a brilliant mind. Shout out to you.
I studied economics in college, so
shout out to the big brain.
I know some stuff about this.
Wow.
But anyway, so you might think that this is a difficult bill to get passed, and in fact, they've tried to get this bill passed previously, and it was met with a lot more resistance. However, this time around, they tacked this bill into the same bill that carried all of the relief funding for Israel and Ukraine. So
that's weird.
Yes.
Okay.
It is weird.
I thought I was tripping. All right.
I mean, they all are
like you can see why doing it
around foreign politics.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely a strategic move, if nothing else.
It's bullying.
And the
not
aid
bullying,
bill,
but you know what I mean. It's applying pressure.
Yeah, the aid bill definitely needed to get passed in a timely fashion if it was going to get passed. Some people might argue that it shouldn't have been passed, but that's neither here nor there with this. It was a bill that was most likely to be bipartisan and passed. So tacking this onto it made it go through both the Senate and the House, and now it has been signed by Biden. So it doesn't take effect immediately. They have like a 9-month window to sell TikTok or not.
What does 9 months to a year mean? Because that's what I've been hearing.
So basically, it's 9 months to get somebody that shows some sort of demonstration of interest.
And a year to finish the process.
A year to finish the process.
The transaction.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So, and that's pretty typical for something like this.
That was my next question, but I didn't want to keep asking questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a pretty,
like, is that normal?
A pretty typical arrangement for something like this. Not necessarily, I'm not going to say that making a foreign entity sell a company is typical. But in the case where a asset needs to be transferred and it's an asset that is difficult to purchase and you can't just pay $10 for it. That is normal language to use.
All right.
So that's what I mean when I say that.
That's very helpful. I appreciate you for that.
Yeah. So, personally, my take on all of this.
Yes. Let's get to that. That's where I'm at. Let's go.
I personally do not like TikTok at all. I think that it is. I understand that the algorithm works differently on TikTok and it makes it easier to search in some sort of situations. However, as a content creator, I am not a fan of TikTok, and I'm also not a fan of having to be on 17,000 different platforms.
Talk that shit.
So getting rid of one of them would be totally fine with me. And then also from like a foreign security standpoint, like I'm also not okay with like all of my data. Like I don't scroll TikTok the way that I scroll Instagram because I'm not okay with all of my consumer data going to China like that. I'm sure they're still getting it other ways. But I don't want my social media habits to go directly to the Chinese government. And that's just me.
No, it's like people be like, well, bad stuff happens everywhere. Yeah, well, I'm trying to limit my accessibility to it.
Yeah.
It don't mean that I'm gonna stay in the house, but it means I'm gonna make different decisions with certain entities. And I think that when everything's going cyber and people are making it convenient when they want to acknowledge when social media is real or fake, you need to realize that if it's as real as it's seeming to be, that you need to move the same way that you would move off of it.
Absolutely. And I also think people need to realize how how much of a precedent this entire ban would set in terms of like the information age in general and foreign politics. Because we have led the speed as far as like cultural information, especially in the digital age. That we've really never been in this situation before where an outside entity has so much of the market share
Yeah, because TikTok is ridiculous right now.
of
It's
something
TikTok and Amazon.
that's so sensitive like data. It's different when, a Chinese company has a huge market share of selling clothes, right?
Right.
That's not a big deal. That doesn't really, the government still might get involved. But it's
It
not as
don't
big
really
of a
move the
deal.
needle.
Yeah, as having our data and having that much of a window into how American society moves and how American society thinks. Um,
And people say like, well, everybody has our data, and what can they really do with it? Well, data to the layman just sounds like numbers. To a business person or somebody that has control over a military, it depends on what they're looking for, what their angle is. You can't dictate that. They're working towards getting the drop on something. And it's just like any other time. Somebody put something to your hair, you got something on your waist, you better not reach for it. They already know what they figured out. You didn't know what they was in it for. You're assuming until you see the results.
and I've used cell phone data like this in the past. Like I've used data that has been derived from social media in a work context. Which in my use is like very tame. It's
Yeah,
about
it's normal.
understanding like the market research for businesses around the area and what type of customer you might be and what your, estimated income is based off of how you spend online and those types of things. How often you eat out, those types of, interesting little tidbits, but it can go so much deeper and it can be so much darker than that. And I think people don't really realize what that can look like.
I agree. I think one thing for certain, two things for sure, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
And I think that when people are not in a position are where they can manipulate or have relationships with people that can manipulate certain things, they feel like it doesn't apply to them until it does. So they're ignorant to it. Would be the short version of it. And that's cool because the world don't go around if everybody's in control, right?
Absolutely.
So, some people will just catch up later, but God bless you.
Let's talk about this Amanda Seales interview. So, Amanda Seales was on
Club Shay.
Club Shay Shay, and
Let's give Shay Shay this. Shout out to Shay. Go ahead. Talk.
And I mean she basically broke the internet again. I'm seeing a lot of mixed reactions, a lot of, oh, she's so intelligent, oh, she's a handful.
She self-diagnosed herself. I said I did the thing I hate. She self-diagnosed.
Yes. Yeah, it's so a lot of things came out in this interview. Yes. So besides saying that she self-diagnosed herself for autism, what were some of the other things that she talked about in this interview, Sam?
There was a lot of things that happened. Very early on when she was trying to explain her backstory, she made reference to things that happened very early on in her life, which I'm pretty sure did affect her because she's still talking about them with that same energy.
Oh yes, the racist teacher.
Was part of it.
Okay.
So we can get to the racist teacher. So what happens is there was a teacher that said that she wanted to meet with the parents and guardians of Amanda. And when they came in, the parents had the regular concerns. Is it her grades? No. Is she acting up? No. She's a great student. She's perfect. Well, what's the problem? Well, she likes to correct and challenge me in front of the classroom. Amanda was saying that that was based on her teacher being racist, which may and well be true, right? But Shannon was playing devil's advocate, as a lot of the times when you're on this side of the microphone, and when I say this side, when you're the platform and somebody's working through their things and you're trying to make progress or get understanding from more than just their perception of it. But even if you're not trying to change what they're saying, you're trying to get a better understanding of why and where that comes from, other than the general statement of she was white and she said this,
Right.
right? So he was saying, well, I'm from the South and I know, and he always says this, he says it all the time. He says it to Chad, and Chad is from the country too. And he says, or a different kind of country, but they from the South too. And he always says, where I'm from, adults never really like children challenging them. And what he was trying to portray, which I feel comfortable saying because he said it, was that I was just offering maybe that was more of a thing of adults not liking to be corrected by children, which is kind of normal, then she's racist because of that action.
Right.
Amanda took high offense to it, and her response to it wasn't very tactful with somebody that has her perception in the public, to say the least, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a little backstory that people don't realize, part of the reason that she got this interview is because she was publicly for the last few weeks or months saying black media doesn't support me, and everybody started interviewing Candace Owens again, and she was using that as like, well, Candace did this and y'all still don't support me. I'm not invited to black events. Y'all don't invite me to award shows that I've hosted that are black. Y'all don't invite me to after parties. I've been kicked out of after parties, and she doesn't understand why. So Shannon was actually offering a young black woman that is very intelligent and very talented, and that he saw like there's something there. And her people probably reached out because they reached out to quite a few people. Joe Button has admitted it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she went on Breakfast Club. Or no, well, she's good with Charlamagne anyway, so that's a regular thing. My bad. But anyway, from his position and with his understanding of people, he saw, or his people saw this as an opportunity to give her a platform that is one of the biggest platforms in the black space right now, in most spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she felt like it was okay to assume that he was against her the whole conversation. She went into the conversation with that energy. So when he's playing quote unquote devil's advocate, she says stuff like, well, you can't tell me how I felt. That's true. We all smart enough to know that you can't tell anybody how they felt about something, but their perception might not be the intention that was had, right? That's an easy trope to just throw on somebody. And she did that. And then she says other instances that he wasn't aware of that support the fact that, or supposed to support the fact that this lady was racist. Well, that wasn't the information that he garnered up to this point. So he wasn't responsible for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they talk a little bit more, and it gets to a point where she stops him and she says, and from now, while we're talking, understand that I'm not just someone speaking from experience. I've studied racism and black people in America and all of these things for years, which is, I salute that. I've been aware of a lot of things at a way younger age than a lot of my peers, and which means that I've researched more stuff than people even realize. So her doing that intentionally and making it her business and her major and things like that is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But she used that as a way to say, so when you respond to me, you're not allowed to challenge me because I know all of these things.
Mm.
When you're on my platform and I'm just trying to offer balanced perspective, or maybe I see where you might have said something that is leaning so hard to a side that you're not trying to be considered in, that I'm trying to offer you a little bail and breathing room.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Perspective wise, just for the audience, just in case you want to clean that up, instead of saying clean it up, I say, well, is it possible that? And if I ask you if it's possible that, and you get offended, then it's like, well, it's going to be a long 3 hours, right? It got to the point where Shannon, as the professional that he is, he acknowledged one time when she challenged him, he said, you know what? This your interview, you right. Meaning I'm going to interject less, which
Mhm.
is strange
Mhm.
for the man that is going viral on his platform more than anybody this year. Like, so anyway, I just thought that a lot of things were condescending. I think that a lot of people that are intelligent um don't understand how they're perceived, and a lot of the times they know so much that they make up their own reasoning for why they don't fit in, as opposed to trying to figure out on a real level what the disconnect is and adjusting. They'll write it off. They'll say, well, those people just aren't meant for me. Those people just aren't smart enough. They're just not on my level. They'll do things like that, and they'll do that around the board. And then every time they explain something, there's no fault or accountability in any of it.
Right.
She spoke to Issa Rae. She spoke about a Jill Scott situation. She talked about getting thrown out of parties. She talked about so much stuff. But in all of these situations, one of the leading narratives about her is that she's difficult to work with. Well, within the first 15 minutes of the conversation, you showed you was difficult to talk to,
Right.
which I'm pretty sure translates into difficult to work with.
I'm sure it's exactly that.
And then you gave examples of when you were either nominated or felt the need to be either the mouthpiece or the centerpiece to bring everybody together.
Mhm.
And other people weren't on the same page that you were on, and you acknowledge that. But you don't acknowledge your fault in that. You don't acknowledge that maybe that wasn't your role in that.
Mhm.
You don't acknowledge that maybe your approach wasn't as smooth as you thought it was, because as you said when you diagnosed yourself, you operate on a level of so much truth that you don't understand how people take things. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Which is a very bold thing to say.
Absolutely.
It's bold as hell, but it's the cocoon that you wrap things in. Nothing about your intelligence was questioned in this conversation. Your handling of the conversation is what's causing the conversation that you don't want. And what people don't realize is the day or the day after this dropped, she made a post and she said she felt heard, she felt vindicated. This is one of the best feelings she had in her life. And then when people started giving her backlash and saying that you can't diagnose yourself for autism, because she actually went on live and people were asking her to clarify some things. Because when he asked her, so you've been diagnosed, she said, yeah, autism and Asperger's has been diagnosed for a lot of people. And he was trying to get her to say that she had a medical diagnosis, and she started talking about people that had the condition that reached out to her that told her that they felt like she was one of them. So when she was on live and she addressed it, she did a bad job of addressing it, and she shut it down. And then after that, she started biting Shannon's back out. She started saying that she wasn't in a safe space. She was saying that other people in the room and the producers was against her. He was attacking her. He's not qualified to second guess her or try to offer certain interjection into the situation. She went off on Shannon, who I started off by saying saw a young black girl that was intelligent and talented, that said that black media wasn't treating her right. I think she shot herself in the foot, yo. I think she had a perfect opportunity to do it right, and she got back into her comfort zone, which is not comfortable for everybody. And I'm not trying to tell her to change, but if you don't change, you don't get different results.
Yeah.
You don't get different results. So either you you stand on the horse you rode in on and say, I'm never going to get another mare or stag or stallion, or you start figuring things out to get you closer to the life or the acceptance that you seem to desire so much, that seems like it's causing you mental health problems. You're talking about shutting down and disconnecting and being depressed, but you're giving the energy that people are saying that you're giving, and you're not acknowledging that. From my
Yeah.
perception of what she said and what others have said, I watched a bunch of interviews. I watched her on a Breakfast Club years ago. I watched Marsha talk. I seen everything. Not everything, but I seen a lot. You know how I do.
Yep. Absolutely.
But I think this is part of the reason why she changed her name from Amanda Diva. Because she didn't want to be perceived a certain way, and she wanted to be taken seriously at the same time. Changing your name to your government from diva does that, but your behavior doesn't. And I've also seen people speak to the fact that when they met her, she was an awesome person, but at a certain point, her energy shifted. And they said that they acknowledged that there's a business, we're in a business where it can do that to you. But she has to acknowledge, understand, and realize what role she wants to play in the struggle. That's what I think. What you think?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think it's a weird situation because for her to want to go on black platforms as much as, you express she did, um, this is exactly what you get from a black platform that you
And
don't
this is the
get.
biggest black platform besides Breakfast Club and Joe Budden.
But you don't get this at a white platform. Like if you say these things on a white platform, they're gonna be like,
They're
"Oh,
gonna nod
wow,
and agree.
okay."
Yep. Yep.
So, and then change the subject.
What
That's
do you think about Beyonce's country album? Like they gonna talk you right out of it. They're like, why do you talk about music? Go ahead.
but so for her to clearly react so strongly when being challenged in an interview setting, regardless of what she's being challenged on, um, that's one thing. But then particularly to be challenged on the topic of race from a fellow, Black American,
Mhm.
um, that's exactly what you get from a black platform.
That's the reason you went there. He was saying the thing that the people that you want to accept you were thinking, so that you could react to it. How you handle it is on you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so I think that this just kind of speaks to her lack of acceptance in that demographic. Um, I think she needs to do some internal thought processes to figure this out on her own, and hopefully this interview kind of leads her to that conclusion so she can either make changes or find acceptance.
And let me speak on behalf of Shay Shay, right? Shannon Sharp. People say that he doesn't switch it up and he's not a good interviewer. I watch all three of the main platforms that he's on daily or 3 times a week, 4 times a week. He treats all of them specifically different. He has an energy that he wants each and every one of them to have, or that he has to mold into for the specific situation. The things that he was asking this young lady and the way he was delivering his line of questioning is not new. It's him speaking to you as your uncle, especially to this young woman that he definitely wasn't going to sit up there and tell her the whole time how beautiful she was,
Right.
even though she is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that kind of energy he's bringing. So I think people need to. I think a lot of the times with his with Club Shay Shay, people see the highlights. They see the Cat Williams, they see the Monique, they see the Amanda Seales, right? So then they assume from those clips, oh, he's just doing a bad job of interviewing because the parts that we see, these people are out of control. But these are 3 and 4 hour interviews.
Right.
And he has to let people get their shit off at some point. And he doesn't let anybody bash anybody except for 1 or 2 instances, mainly the Cat interview, where it just got to the point where it's like, I ain't going to just keep saying that's my homeboy.
Right.
So shout out to Shannon, man, and salute to everybody, but pay attention to the fact that that man is doing great things and he's snapping right now. And Amanda, I don't appreciate how you handle back black media after they had off you an olive branch. That wasn't cool. He had to respond to it, but it's cool. We can't play that on here. Probably could, but I'm not sure.
Where you want to go next?
Where we at? Jelly Roll quit social media because of fat shaming,
That's what it's over?
body shaming, yeah. Negative energy, back, negative comments. His wife spoke out.
So tell the people what happened.
So it was reported that Jelly Roll decided to fall back from social media because of negative commentary. Basically, like there was, there's a lot of different ways that comes. There's he as an artist and a superstar at this point, he kind of rubs quite a few different groups of people the wrong way and brings quite a different selection of groups of people together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just look alone, style, relationships, message. He's just different. And I think that when you're that big and you got the tattoos on your face and you at the top of the hill and you're winning every award and you did it your way, people are going to tear you down. And we preach mental health all the time. So I think if he took a break because of that, cool. What made me a little weary about it was how when he spoke to his wife, she had so much energy behind it. Like it affected him. You know how it is. If something affects your mate in the house, you get some of that, or you at least see the change in them, and you don't appreciate that. And she was going off so much that it's like this might be one of those things where it got really bad. Is what I'm saying.
Hmm.
As far as his mental. But what do you think about it in general? Like because when you at the top of the hill, everybody's shooting for the throne, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not making an excuse. I'm asking.
No, I mean, it can be social media, especially when you have a lot of negativity on social media, it can be super consuming. I mean, I know that firsthand, but it's
Can you imagine how many mentions he gets a day as Jelly Roll right now?
exactly. I was just thinking
Wow.
about that. So like I understand needing to separate yourself from that energy and not put any energy into it. What's interesting to me is the need to announce
I never understand that.
that you're doing it.
I never understand announcing that you're blocking or deleting people or announcing that you're taking a break from social media. I never understood the point of it because the explanation doesn't fit you telling us.
Yeah, I just
It's
it feels strange. Like why do that? Because you're just gonna get more negative reaction to that
maybe it's possible that you run so much business through your social media
that you
that
have
you
to.
have to kind of announce to be like, yo, I didn't intentionally ignore you, or you know what I mean? I'm not in that realm right now, so you might have to go otherwise through the onion to get to me.
I mean, you could also just like hire somebody to manage all of your social media for you.
Great answer.
Um, because I'm sure that that's what like people like Beyonce and Jay-Z would do is like, I don't touch that shit. Like somebody else posts some pictures here and there. I
But
never have to read the comments. I never go on there.
and I'm not saying anything against B and J because I love him, Jay, my uncle. Jelly Roll is a little more perception wise organic. Like he might be one of them motherfuckers that's like, yo, I'm not paying somebody to do my social media. That sounds crazy. And then when it affects him, it's too late. It's like a thing. And then maybe they looking towards that now, but it's still that rep period.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't care what your image is. Somebody else can recreate that same image without it being you, and you don't have to be that person, and you don't have to announce that to the world. But apparently, he's the type that feels the need to announce things to the world regardless, so maybe
Let's
that's the problem.
let's be honest. He's not just an artist. He's an artist that chase superstardom. He likes attention.
Yeah. This to me sounds like another reason to have a headline to like have people relate to
Empathize with your story.
and empathize with what you're going through and hopefully cut down on those negative comments a little bit. But I think that like realistically he's probably already back on social media. Like I
That's
wouldn't be
crazy.
surprised. Either that or he hired an agent to monitor it for him. Like
Yeah, but like I said, I think that sometimes we assume that we can handle certain things until we can't. and then we make those adjustments. But in the meanwhile, we've already done damage to ourselves inadvertently. I think that's possible too, right?
Absolutely. And I'm not trying to like illegitimize his actual like mental health stuff that he's going through as a result of all of this negativity. Like
Right,
I'm not trying to minimize that at all.
right.
Um it's just, you know, how you deal with it and the way that you announce it. And now granted, he might not have even wanted to announce it. Like that might have been like his PR person just being like, "Well, if you're not going to be on social media, I need like I know PR people, like sometimes they
Hmm.
can be like that.
Hmm.
Um I need to make an announcement because your fans are going to be wondering if something's wrong, like whatever, whatever. But
And that happens.
yeah, but I personally I don't think it's a necessary announcement. I think you could have just fell back. Not everything. I also hate the word quit. Like not everything needs to be so permanent to make it sound like I quit doing something for forever.
I feel like as artists, we should never quit or retire from anything,
Yeah, like
not publicly.
chill out, fall back, delete it from your phone for a while, hire somebody to take care of that for you. This does not need to be a headline.
But the reason it becomes a headline is because things like this become the first stages to losing that star that you love so much. Because the next thing becomes he's overwhelmed and he's not doing music anymore. Even if that's temporary, like he has a mental block for 3 years or needs to take a break, right? And that's when people, but I live every morning. You know what I mean? Even on social media posts, like I'm so used to him giving that message every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like people act like it's heroin. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. The
Yeah.
pressure's real, but I hope that that's not where this is leading.
Yeah. Well, let's get through that. And you got speaking of announcements.
Uh, the Derby? So, if you did not already know, the Kensington Derby and Arts Festival for 2024 is coming up May 11th, Saturday. This year it's happening on Frankfurt Avenue, between York and Huntington. It's going to be a fun time. We have 25 food vendors, and about 125 artists, 5 bands, a whole bunch of derby teams. I'm very excited. I've been working really hard on this event. It's been stressing me out, but we're 2 weeks out. So make sure you guys come on out May 11th. That's not this Saturday, but next Saturday from 12 to 6 p.m. on Frankfurt
Nope,
Avenue.
I need details. One, you said it's a derby, and you said there's derby teams. I need the people to understand what a derby team means, and I need to talk about expectation of crowd capacity.
Okay. So, the derby part is a kinetic sculpture derby. If you haven't heard of this before, there's a couple of them throughout the country. The big one is in Baltimore. There's also a big one out in Seattle and a few other places throughout the area. So, what a sculpture derby is teams get together and create any type of human-powered sculpture. So the easiest thing you can think of is a bike, and they create these contraptions and they create a team name and kind of dress up all around it. And then they uh, use these human powered sculptures and they parade throughout the neighborhood of Kensington and Fishtown, through various obstacles. So this year we will have, I believe, 4 obstacles. We're going to have a start line obstacle for the first time, um, that I've been creating myself. Like I said, lots of pool noodles, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah, lots of pool noodles.
Lots of pool noodles.
Disgusting.
Um, and then there's the Johnny Brenda's sculpture wash, where there is a foam pit that the sculptures ride through. And then the roundabout and City Fitness has a surprise obstacle that they TBD on the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finish at the epic mud pit, which you can see in the picture here. So it should be a fun time. Usually we
Always.
have about somewhere between 5 to 15,000 folks.
Ugh.
Especially during the time of the mud pit, it gets super crowded. And the mud pit's usually around 3 p.m.
And hosting will be.
Oh, Sippin' with Sammy will be hosting.
Oh, I was talking about you. You meant me. Okay. I'll be out there. Shout out to me. I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
What I'm hosting?
You're hosting the main stage. Well, you're stage managing the main stage. You don't really have to host.
Oh, big business. You know what I mean? Look at me.
Yep.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Should be a fun time.
Word. Well, salute to you. I know you've been working hard on it. You work hard on it every year, and every year, it rains, but there's still people out there that want to see the mud pit. Like, it's ridiculous. So, it's going to be a great time because this crowd doesn't let anything stop them.
Not at all.
And I think that that's pretty awesome, and it's something different to attend, especially if you part of specifically my crowd and you never been out there before. It's a vibe, yo. Get a beer and laugh. It'd be pour something in a water bottle or something that you can, you know what I mean? Do your thing. And we out there. We out there, but I'll be out there. That's May 11th, a couple weeks before the boy day. So, I'll be out there. I'll be out there. Urban Elegance is on the list. Speaking of announcements, do you have a graphic?
I do.
Perhaps.
I do. The Urban Elegance Entrepreneur Awards are coming up on Saturday, May 25th, the day before Sammy Day. It is a celebration of Black excellence and brilliance. And Sippin' with Sammy is an honoree.
Oh, shout out to us. Yeah, so shout out to First Lady Tweet. Salute to her first and foremost. She actually sent me something today about a whole nother event that we get to support her on. So I gotta figure that out very soon because that's actually before this one.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got that message today. But salute to Tweet, man, and shout out to everybody that's been on a list to be honored. It's a dope list. It's really awesome. I read it off on here before, and they've actually added a couple more people, but we ain't gonna do that. We running a little long in the tooth, so just know that May 25th, that's what's going down. I believe that if you want to be in the building, there's still opportunity to go through her page, go to my page, tap in with my DM. I'll give you the link, and you can figure out how to be there. But this one of the rooms that is always exciting and fun to be in. I say that all the time because I love to be around dope black minorities and supporting people that are doing dope shit. A lot of the times we assume we know everybody that's doing anything major, and then you get in a room with somebody that has black vodka that's actually black and you didn't know it existed. So shout out to her, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. Anything else pressing?
No, that's it for me.
You good?
I'm good.
All right, no more announcements for you?
Mm-mm.
How they get in contact? What should they get with you for?
You know, it's your girl Kay with Font Productions. Get with me and get your business right. I do everything from LLCs, trademarks, understanding the financial side of your business. I also do event curation and obviously media production, everything from podcasts to day in the life vlogs, documentaries, things of that nature, production on other bigger projects. You name it, just contact me. You can get with me on the gram at PHANT Philly, PHILLY. So that's Font Productions. Or email me fontproductions@gmail.com. Visit my website, fontproductions.com.
That part in that order. And like I said, it's a lot of stuff going up, man. Shout out to Velcro, shout out to Boogie Mandela, salute to Tweet. This next month or so is gonna be really crazy. Shout out to my MSU alumni and folks that I seen this weekend. I had a great time. Y'all look great. Y'all look awesome. Shout out to my Bowleys boys. Shout out to the squad, Squad 215. Shout out specifically to T and Ray for even more intimate reasons because they played a bigger part of making sure that I was safe the whole time out there, and I love y'all for that. But that's what we do. Maryland, my second home, man. I'm heavy in DC too, man. I'm feeling like Cameron. Ask about me, talk about me. They gonna tell you something you ain't even know. This is Sippin' with Sammy. I am Mr. Flash, and only the one and only Sippin' with Sammy. Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammy, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together. Like the video right now. Subscribe right now.
Yuppie transplants. Move the fuck out. Get out of our fucking city. You ain't even fucking born here.